Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another weekend edition here of the OSC King of the Hill, week number 220. Oh my god, it's been so many weeks of OSC, but here we are. Welcome. Of course, just VIP with me and joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat and MaNa plushies as well. Welcome one and all to something a little bit different here. Welcome to a welcome to a King of the Hill best of one style tournament. We'll get into the format as spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon. We have the red Terran player there, Terran player himself, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. Nico. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents getting proxied. Let's go. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the returning and current King of the Hill from South Korea, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we move out not just with one, but with two SCVs. Two SCVs do move out. It's going to be Proxy 2X Reaper here out of Nicoract. He is going to be committed. He's going to be hyper aggressive here, and we'll see if he can break on through. We'll see if he can shut Percival down as, Percival does open up double gas. Double gas to open out of Percival. That means Percival, he's going for a faster factory. He's going for a delayed CC, which means he will have access to Hellion production. There is still a chance for Nicoract to get damage done if he can get in, if he can delay the factory, if he can go in, if he can delay the factory, if he can maybe pick up some workers, maybe catch the first Reaper. There is still a chance for damage, but now the window for damage is smaller. It's going to be a smaller window here for Nicoract. We'll see if he can make this worth it. We'll see if we make it worth it here. And again, welcome one and all. As a reminder, this is a best of one. So the predictions are also for only a singular game. When I say King of the Hill style format, the way this works here is the winner stays on. The winner stays on, and the loser of this game will be eliminated from the tournament, will be knocked out, and then a new challenger will rise to take their place. Percival, he is the reigning King of the Hill from last week, so he was invited to be the starting player, and Nicoract is the first challenger. Let's go as Reapers are on the way. First Reaper has arrived. Behind this, remember we did speak about it, it is going to be a faster factory out of Percival. Factory is out. And again, welcome one and all. This is the second broadcast of the day. We were casting the Pixar Cup earlier this morning, and fun fact, both Percival and Nicoract were there, and we already casted so many TVTs. We casted a lot of TVTs this morning, and the TVTs continue as Reapers go up the ramp. The Reaper is in position, but Percival, he will take a lot of hits, he'll take a lot of shots, he does back up. The factory does complete. Yeah, factory does complete just in time. One SCV goes down, boys are being pulled. So far, we get some damage done, but we're coming for the surround. Oh my god. Trading 1 for 1. Yeah, they do trade 1 for 1. In the end, Percival, he is holding on. CC is on the way, and the Hellion is about to pop. Needs a little bit more time for the Hellion. It's a little bit more time here as the SCV does get picked up. He will lose 2 SCVs and maybe 3. Oh my god, not quite. And with that, Percival, he does hold on. What you can see here with the arrival of the Hellion, he will shut this down. Catching another Reaper. Does trade 1 to 1. The boys are still here to buffer. Yeah, the boys are still here, and again, Percival only losing 2 SCVs, doesn't lose another. We can see that Nicoract is still not stopping, he's making more Reapers behind this. Behind this, factory is now done, going for a heavily delayed CC. We can see Nicoract trying to transition out of this, but again, he is still looking and hoping for more damage. As he goes in, and he will delay. Not bad. Does delay the CC. Kills the building worker. But now with 2 Hellions, he's being bullied back. He's being shut down. As Nicoract, he will lose every single Reaper. Every Reaper falls. And now it's time to counterattack. And back at home, can Nicoract, can he defend? Can he save his CC? Can he protect that command center? So it's time we're checking. Yep, we confirm that the Raxes are floating, which means there's no more production, which means Percival, he's rallying everything across the map. And back at home, Nicoract, the Cyclone is on the way. The CC is in production, but this CC will be delayed, as there will be no saving this worker. Aliens move in. Cyclone is still seconds away. And Percival back at home, he's mining. Back at home, he's already getting saturated. Is already getting saturated, is already muling. The orbital is complete. And Nicoract, sure, he got some damage. He got 3 SCVs, but that was for 6 Reapers. In the end, it wasn't quite worth it. In the end, Percival comes out ahead. Does take a lead here from the early game. It was hyper aggressive, it was risky here. Again, there was a chance that maybe Percival would open up more greedy, more economic, but that is not the case. And now it's going to be on Nicoract to recover. How does he recover? Banshee. Here we go. We have Banshees on the way here. Now, this is a way to try to catch Percival off guard. This is a way to try to get some economic damage. There's a lot riding on this one Banshee. Meanwhile, we have Percival back at home going for his own Cyclone into Raven production into a very fast third CC. Oh my god, hyper greed out of Percival. And this I was not expecting. Okay, so very greedy here from our blue Terran player. He's rushing into a third base. Nicoract currently is not aware, going for his own 3-back setup. Does go for his own 3-backs. Meanwhile, he's building up 3 Cyclones, but alas, the auto charge will force us back, getting one, almost getting another Cyclone. Yeah, Percival does move forward. A nice lock on, trading 2 for 1. And Nicoract is holding, but he had to reveal his Banshee. He does reveal his hand. The lock on is broken. Oh, the lock on. Do we get a scan? Not quite. Ooh, the lock on is broken. We're trying to piece this all together here. The Cyclones will trade against each other as they do not knock each other out. One Cyclone barely survives. Barely does survive, barely does hold on. And again, Percival, he's now fully aware of the threat of the Banshees. Back at home, he should be getting in position, should be getting ready in case additional Banshees were to pop out. Oh, calm down. Yeah, Percival going for the Banshee, does bring it down. Nice snipe on the Banshee. And Percival, he's still in control. He's still very much so in control. We spoke about how the pressure was on Nicoract to get some kind of counter damage done, but alas, that was not the case. And Nicoract, he is falling behind. Now, there are ways to recover in this game, bearing in mind that, remember, Percival, he rushed into a third. So because of that, Nicoract, his main army, has potential to get a little bit larger, a little bit stronger. Specifically, even though Percival has a faster third base, what does Nicoract have? 1-1. He has 1-1 upgrades, he has a stim, he has, he of course has the extra Vaxes as well. So we can hit a stronger timing here with 1-1 and try to pull off something like a 2-base all-in, or at least move out to contain Percival and keep him on 2 bases while Nicoract catches up with the third CC. So there are ways to recover here, but once again, the pressure is on Nicoract to pull that off. So here we go. Here's the move out. Here's the move out. And again, these upgrades, they'll finish up, you know, as the fight is progressing, I would imagine. As Nicoract is across the map. So far, he's still setting up. Waiting for stim. Waiting for those upgrades. Ooh, meanwhile, Percival, he does get into the mineral line. Yeah, it does get in as he's going to be going down. A bit of a late reaction here from Nicoract as workers are falling, and these are workers that Nicoract cannot afford to lose. It's going to be 9 SCV kills. Meanwhile, Nicoract, he just scanned, he just checked, did not see the CC. And at this point, it has to be an all-in. We gotta send that baby. Let's go. Here comes the mass on siege, and it's all or nothing for Nicoract, rallying everything across the map. Back at home, Percival, what does he have? He's got 3 tanks. He's got 3 tanks here at the natural. He will have stim, true. He will have stim with his army. He will not have 1-1, of course. We've got turrets on the way in the main base. We have Vikings on the way as well. So Percival, he will have air control. You know, Nicoract spinning up his army. Oh, as more SCV is going to be going down to the Liberator. It's going to be 6 more worker kills. Nicoract checking. Percival, he's still on 2 bases. You can see how oversaturated Percival is. You can see here 31 SCVs out of 16. As he's not confident he can maintain a third. So he's waiting for his army before he can expand, then he can Maynard. So even though Percival has double the worker count, his economic lead isn't as big as it otherwise seems. It's still big, it's still there, right? Like, he's still ahead economically. But again, the soup does lie. One upgrades are complete for Nicoract, but again, he cannot push into these pre-siege tanks. The one hope that Nicoract has, GG, well played. As the game will end, and Percival, he will take the game. I was going to say that the one chance that Nicoract has here is that he wants Percival to expand. He wants him to expose himself, to get out here in the open, and then Nicoract can commit. That's why he was hiding his tanks. But Percival, he didn't push. Like, he was just chilling at home. He was chilling on 2 bases and not giving Nicoract the opportunity to recover and to take a good fight. GG. GG. With that, Percival, he will take the first game. He will be our current King of the Hill. GG will play. Congratulations here to Percival. Shout out to Nicoract. Again, he did risk a lot of it when it came to the opener. As a reminder, he did open up 2x Reaper, but he failed to get the damage done that he was looking for. He needed to achieve a little bit more there. In the end, he fell behind, and he fell further and further behind as he lost the Banshee follow-up, as he was losing more workers to the auto turrets. Percival was just all over the early game. GG well played. And with that, Percival does take a lead in the series, or I should say, he does claim the first win, and is our current King of the Hill. GG well played. As we are going to be getting ready here for game number 2, and we have confirmation. Oh. Here we go. We have confirmation as to our new challenger. Now, as a reminder, we have 15 best of ones. That was our first one. That was our first best of one. But we have 15 more coming, or I guess we have 14 more coming up ahead of us here. We have a plethora of players lying in wait, and we have our next challenger, Percival. Of course, he will stick around as the King of the Hill. But up next, we have a new challenger. It is going to be the Indian Zerg player, a player that we've casted many times for many years here on the channel. Nowadays is more of less of a pro player, more of like a hobbyist, if you will. He was more dedicated in years past, but now he's still competing in OSC events whenever he can. Up next, Percival versus Demi. Let's go. Let us go. Demi, he's going to be stepping into the ring here. Again, Demi, the shark of the sea himself. Let's go. Again, Demi, the Sea Muta King, if you will, the Muta King of the Sea, as he is often known for his Muta play. But in recent times, again, because Demi is no longer full-time as a player, he has spread his wings, and we have seen some more cheese out of Demi. So we'll see what he brings to the table. If this was 2020, 2021, 2022, I would say like, oh, I expect Demi to go into Lingbane Muta, right, to play standard, to go into Lingbane Muta. But here in current era, we could see roaches, we could see a Bane bust, we could see some more Lins, we could see something different. Let's go. I'm here for it. I am ready for it. Here we go, as we have a new challenger. And we are getting ready for our next matchup. Also, shout out to Kanoya in the chat. Kanoya, of course, is going to be casting in French. Likewise, do see others in the chat as well. I see Psycons, I see Hatsu as well. Sound. Oh, good to see you all. Good to see you. Bienvenidos, as always. As it looks like we have our lobby. Okay, we have our lobby. We have our game. As game 2 is going to be on Percival. Okay, our second match is going to be on Percival. And again, the way this format works, it isn't just best of ones. The current King of the Hill gets 1 veto. So Percival, he gets 1 veto to his name. And after that 1 veto, it is the challenger's map of choice. So Demi, he has chosen Percival, short rush distance by ground. Sorry, short rush distance by air. I wonder why. I wonder why this map was chosen. I have an idea, but we'll see. As we're getting into our second series or second match of the broadcast. This morning in the bottom hand corner of Percival, we have the Indian Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Maturino Esports. It is Demi. And this morning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran, the current King of the Hill, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. We go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, Percival is going to be favored, but at the same time, I do know that Demi, he is one not to be trifled with, especially in current era of StarCraft. I was kind of alluding to it earlier, where Demi nowadays is not a full-time player, but that also means that now he's spreading his wings. Now he's being a lot more cheeky, a lot more cheesy than normal, and there it is. Gas first. Gas pool delayed hatchery here in ZVT of all things. Hyper aggression out of Demi. Now with this, we can go into early link speed, into an early Baneliness, into a Bane bust, or this could be for an early Roach Warren into a Roach Rush instead. So we have options. Technically, we could be mining gas here for a fast lair. That'd be crazy, but that is also an option. We'll see what the gas is going to be spent on. Do we go into link speed? Do we go into a lair? Do we go into roaches? Our eyes are on Demi. As again, Demi, he delays his hatchery in favor of this. In favor of the gas, in favor of the spawning pool, in favor of the aggression of the tech. I should emphasize. As the queen is on the way. The gas is being mined. We now have 100. There is 100 gas. 100 gas. And you can see Demi immediately pulls out. He does pull out. He leaves 1 in gas. This tells us that, I mean, yeah, this tells us this is not going to be a Bane bust. That this is going to be a Ling Flood more than anything. Okay. As SCV does poke in. Does confirm the build. He does see the tech is already ready. He does confirm how late the CC is as well. Percival knows. And you can see Demi completely pull out of gas. So no more gas income. Does scrote on the edge. Percival, you can see he's staying at home. Now again, the reason why this Reaper is staying at home is because he just scattered. He knows that it was an early pull. He knows about the early gas. So he is staying at home to protect his base, to protect his CC, to protect his setup here. So a good response out of Percival. Demi, these things shouldn't get much done. They're at least forcing his opponent to stay back at home. But what are we doing with that? What is the plan? So far, we have not pulled back into gas. Not yet. CC is complete. You can see Percival, he does fully wall up. He's got a safety bunker on the way. This tells us that Percival, he's getting ready for a Bane bust. He's getting ready for a Roach Rush. Percival, he is being hyper defensive here as he does not know what's going on. It's a very safe play out of Percival. Meanwhile, he does get behind the mineral line. He's searching. He's looking for the Bane Nest. He's looking for the Roach Warren. He sees nothing. There's nothing here. Nothing in the main. Now he confirms. He also sees no gas income. Sees no gas income as well. Lings a delayed the CC. Does dip behind the mineral line at the natural. Once again confirming there's nothing here. There's nothing here. There's no tech rush. It was a early link speed out of Demi. That is true. But now Percival even knows it was only link speed. So Percival now knows he is safe. Now he can expand. Now he can maintain control of the low ground. Behind this third CC already done. Jesus, he did go 3 CC before Starport. It's a very greedy follow-up here by Percival. Considering he didn't really know what was happening, I'm sure that Demi was hoping that maybe Percival would react a little bit harder, but the answer is no. Doesn't react too hard, freely expands. We got Cloak Banshee as the follow-up, and Demi will soon confirm with his Overlord Scout. Does confirm. Meanwhile, we have a 420-ish lair timing here out of Demi. Interesting. With his lair timing, he can go for, I mean, I'll say standard lair timing here. He's staying in gas. From here, we can go into faster baneliness, into baneling speed, into a safe Ling Bane setup. Otherwise, we could try to be cheeky and try to preserve that gas and go into a Spire. I mentioned earlier that Demi, he was at one point known for going Muta in almost every single matchup. Like, that was what he was known for, going to mass Muta. But it's been quite some time. As he is taking his gases at the natural, he's taking his gases in the main. He is taking all of his gases. And what is that gas being spent on? I don't see an Evo Chambers. I don't see a Baneling Nest. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Baneling Nest on the way. He's getting his nest. Lair is now done. Do you see what I see? I see 2 more gases. This should be for the Spire. We're expecting a Spire here out of Demi. It's like it's 2020 once again. Assuming he goes for it. And there it is. There it is. We're going for the Spire. We're going for the Mass Muta. Let's go. That's why we don't have any Evo Chambers. So we're going to be skipping, or I say skipping, we're going to be delaying 1-1 upgrades to the Ling Bane in favor of more Mutas. That's the give and take here of going into Muta, is your Ling Bane is going to be weaker. Very nice control here by Percival. Nice control. I would like to take back my Gamba. Oh no. There's no takebacks for the Gambas. Oh my god, they get into mid-line. Oh my god, they do line up. 13, 14 drones going to be going down. Percival, he does pop up and he takes out the entire mineral line just like that. 14 drone kills. He's still not done. Getting up to 16, getting one more volley up, getting up to 19. Oh my god. 19 workers do fall. That is critical damage. That is game-ending damage. Doesn't just get 19 drones, by the way. He also gets a full scout. He also confirms the Spire. He sees no Evo chambers, no upgrades. Spire is on the way. He knows, and back at home, he's going to, of course, mass buy. Getting to his buy setup. That's also the downside here of not having those Evo chambers, is that you're lacking SimCity, right? You're lacking SimCity. You're lacking a wall here to protect your bases. Marines are moving out, and what is there to stop him? Now, thankfully, there is bailing speed, of course. Bailing speed is going to be done. There is going to be a little bit of link bait on the ground. Here comes Percival. Catching at a couple of overlords. 1, 2, 3, 4 bailings go down. Very nice target firing. And Percival, he does break through. Break through once again, does target fire the bailings. And these are too many losses. Too many losses. GG gets called. He just rallies across the map. As we mentioned earlier, it was game-ending damage, killing 19 drones. There was no recovering from that. And Percival, he will take the game. He will take the best of 1. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to you, Percival. He is still our king of the hill. And a shout to Demi, because I wasn't too sure what to expect from him. I said before that Demi, he's known for his Muta play. That's who he be. That's who he was, especially back when he was an active competitor many years ago. And here does go back to his roots, I should say. Didn't quite, I mean, he at least made the Mutas, but he didn't quite get to embrace the Muta tech like he wanted to. Again, it can be very difficult going lane main Muta in this current meta in StarCraft 2, just because, as you can see, you can be punished, and the Hellion Dive did win Percival the game. 19 drone kills, game-ending damage. Game-ending damage. GG well played, and with that, Percival, he will claim the game. And now we're getting into our second match here. Who will rise to the challenge? Who is going to be our next competitor? We have the answer. It is going to be a Polish Protoss player. Oh boy, it's one of our favorites, of course. We talk about him all the time, Papi. Oh my god, do you know who it is? I just said his name. Bam! Up next, we have a new challenger. It is going to be Percival versus Papi. Let's go. Let us go. Papi, of course, he is also a player that Papi, he's also a player that was once a more active competitor, and he only recently started laddering and improving and practicing again. That was in the lead up to the Polish tournaments. That was in the lead up to the FEL, the Fusion Esports League. That, of course, the Polish Championship was like 2 weeks ago at this point, and Papi, he was practicing, training, and improving for that event to be able to take part in that tournament, of course. But Papi, back in the day, he used to be on Berserker. He used to be on Berserker Esports. That was a couple of years ago. Berserker, of course, they disbanded their pro team, so as a result, players like Papi, players like Shidown, players like DNS, they're not really too active anymore. They play every now and then. DNS, he was in the most recent Home Story Cup, for example. Oh. Okay, thank God. I was a little bit worried. But yeah, DNS, he was in the most recent Home Story Cup, for example. But a lot of the ex-Berserker boys, Mixu, they're not really as active as they used to be anymore. And our Polish Protoss here was one of them. Was one of those Berserker boys. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss, currently teamless. It is Papi. Hi, Papi. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the red Terran, the current king of the hill, representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. So currently we have Percival as the current king of the hill, and once again he is favored in this matchup. I say that but I also don't really know the form of Papi. I did mention previously that he was doing customs and laddering, and he was getting ready for the Polish Championship. Again, that was a couple of weeks ago. So Papi he came out of retirement. He came out of retirement for that. But has he still been laddering? You know, has he still been competing? How does he compare? Even at his peak, I would say I would still lean towards Percival, but we'll see if Papi's been cooking something up. That's the other kind of scary thing about these predictions and about this format. It's a best of one. Like in best of ones, upsets do happen. Upsets do happen in a best of three. Even a quote unquote lesser player can make a series out of it, can take a game and can force the ace match or force it back and forth. So here in a best of one formats, anything can happen. And we have seen players like MaxPax, players like Beyond, players like Solar taken down by otherwise quote unquote lesser players in a best of one. Here we go. I think the example of that is Percival. He beat Creator in a best of one not too long ago in OSC King of the Hill. True. I think it was even last week actually. Last week or the week before, but Percival did take down players like Creator, did take down some of the bigger names out there in the OSC Elite tournament series. Now we can see he is scanning, checking for proxies, and does open up with a faster factory. So double gas opener, faster factory. He had a Percival going for a delayed TC. Meanwhile, Papi back at home going for a Twilight Council instead. Here we go. Once again, XD Percival, he is scouting, he's checking these nearby proxy locations before moving out across the map. He did not go for an SCV scout. So meanwhile, welcome to Maganatha. Maganatha is the largest map in the map pool. So for Papi to force us to play on Maganatha, I feel like he wants to go into a longer game. That's my read on it, at least. But here we go. Percival does poke in. Nice control of the Percival. Does pull away those weakened Reapers. Does pull them back, does pull them away. As he does back off, he does rotate. Behind this, you can see Papi walling up. And Papi's playing safe. Do you see what I see? I see Robo. I see Robo on 2 bases. Actually, my apologies. 2-gate blink into a Robo, into a third before his gases. Okay. So Papi's cutting some corners. And again, on Maganatha, it does make sense to cut corners. But he is being greedy. Greedier than what we expect. As Reaper Heli does get into the mid-run, gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, moment, this is racking up. Oh my god, 5 probes. This is getting out of hand. 5, 6 probes. We got 7 probe kills. Reaper Heli doesn't scale well. Reaper Heli is on an army unit that built to harass, that built to scout, and they get 8 probes for 2 Reapers and a Hellion. Oh boy, that's a brutal start here. I mean, again, we mentioned that Papi, he was being greedy, he was cutting corners, he gets punished for it, now we drop in. Yeah, the Cyclone has arrived, locking on the Stalker. The first Stalker does barely make it out, does break the lock on. How about Stalker's getting caught out? No, getting caught out, some brutal body blocking. You can see he wants that final Stalker, he does get it. Oh, Papi locks him in. Thankfully, does lock him in, does lock him down, does clean this up, but still 9 worker kills, still losing 2 Stalkers. 11 probes going down in total. These are still brutal losses. I still do favor Percival. Like, this is still better for the Terran. At least Papi did clean up. And at least he has a 3rd Nexus, so he can, of course, rebuild and replenish his economy. Builds can replenish. Meanwhile, we do see the Percival, he's still being hyper aggressive. He's moving out already. Behind this, he has a Banshee on the way. Now remember, this move out, it's gonna be stimless. There's no stim. The boys are being pulled. This is an early push, and the real backbone of this army are the tanks and the Banshees. Marines, though, they do play a role when it comes to preserving the army, when it comes to buffering. A lot of Marines going down. Immortal has arrived, and Papi, I believe he will have enough. And takes out the Banshee, takes out the tanks as well. Percival overextending. It does overextend. We'll lose both tanks. Percival, he should not be here. Again, he let out too many Marines. Too many Marines went down. Percival, he will lose everything. He had a strong start to the game, but he got too excited. Percival, he got too excited. And Percival, he is in danger. He's down to one tank, no bunkers. Remember, Stim was delayed. All the upgrades were delayed in favor of that push, and that push does nothing. And Pappy, he can end the game. He can end the game here and now. Again, there's still no bunker. There's still only one tank. Does blink in, takes down the tank. And there's nothing. There's nothing left. And let's go. Este Pappy, ay, ay, ay. We mentioned before that even though I do favor Percival, and even though he's a stronger player to head on series in a best of one, hey, mistakes can happen and misjudgments can happen as well. As Este Papi does break on through, workers are being pulled. Tank does siege, but the tank still goes down, Banshees as well. And again, this is brutal damage, bearing in mind that there's no third CC behind this. So SCVs are falling, 16 SCV kills. Percival, he will hold, he will survive. True, he does hold, he does survive. He's working on greater upgrades behind this. We have 2 more Raxes on the way. This is 2 Raxes instead of a third TC. And based on all that damage, looks like a 2-base all-in. Looks like we have to go for a 2-base all-in as the follow-up. And Pappy just has to play it safe. Just play it safe, just calm down, get some shield batteries, get in some splash damage. 4th Nexus on the way. Very good mind. He's going to be up against a 2-base all-in and he's getting a 4th base. Is this too greedy? I think this is okay, but we gotta calm down and build up an army. We gotta focus on the army. Here we go. We have a gateway explosion, 6 more gates on the way. Pappy, we need to focus on building up an army here to survive the eventual all-in that's gonna be coming his way. Ay, ay, ay. But again, Percival, he is crippled. The 4th Nexus does ensure that if Percival doesn't go for an all-in, then Pappy, he will stay ahead. He'll maintain his lead and extend it. This Percival does move out with a double drop. Does move out. Here we go, picking up, dropping into the main. Now, this is where I'm concerned. Have we been too greedy? Where there's nothing in the main. There's nothing in the main base. The main army's out of position. And drop is coming in. He does warp in. Going for the Templar Archives. Nice pickup. Templar Archives is going to be going down. Zealots are going to buy some time. Never mind, the Templar Archives may survive. Yeah, barely will survive here. Medevacs do pull out, so we do see Percival pushing on the left-hand side. Remember, Percival, he is pretty committed here on 2 bases. He is basically borderline all-in. But his army size is comparable to that of Pappy. And Pappy still has no splash damage. Still no storm. Where is the storm? Yeah, still no storm. Still no splash damage. Percival, he does bring everything together. He consolidates his army. Does consolidate, does move out. And again, in a head-on fight, Percival, he can still take this, for sure. Going for the drop. Army gets spotted. Pappy, he has to respond. As tanks are sieging. Pappy does see this ahead of time. Can he get on top of those tanks? As he's going to wall off. Knocks down the towers. Zealots are trying to collapse in. They're getting on top of the tanks, and it looks like there might just be too much Protoss. Yeah, he overwhelms the army. Takes out all the tanks. Just chase down Percival. And Pappy, he will take this. He will take this. Again, he did a crippling damage earlier. We did mention the Percival, he was 2-base all-in. The drop play was nice, but that's all he could do. Only drop. He could not fight head-on, not against this Protoss army. As Pappy, he does have more than enough. And out of all players, the Percival Slayer, it's gonna be the Polish Protoss. And not the one you would expect. Not a Geralt, not a Cristiano, not a MaNa, but a Pappy. Let's go. As the final Liberator does go down, we does drag the Zealots here in towards the SCVs. That's going to be 25 SCVs going to be falling. Pappy forcing his way through. Takes down the tank. Marauders are going to be able to hold on. Nice force field's going to delay, going to deter the Terran army. Ooh, never mind though. Does show favor. Does want the Immortals. Zealots are arriving here. Ooh, just in time to save that one final Immortal. As we are a little bit on an A move here, attacking buildings instead of attacking the main army. But once again, gets into the mineral line, and we need reinforcements. Storm finally begins. Again, Storm is heavily delayed. But Bappy doesn't need it. To be honest, like he's done well enough. He's done well enough. He crushed the main army. There is still no third TC, and there's only 20 workers left. Even with a third TC, like we cannot saturate on 2 bases. Percival, he's muling his heart out. Catching up Immortal. Nice sniper on the Metamax, and there it is. GG. Bappy, he will take the game, and he will be our new King of the Hill. GG. Hi, Bappy. GG, well played. Bappy, he will claim the series. He will take it. Again, as we mentioned, in a best of 1, anything can happen. Of course, this is on Percival. Winding it back, Percival, he had a stronger start. Remember, he had a much stronger start. He did crippling damage with his Reaper Hellion. He pushed out, but if you remember, he also went for the drop with his Cyclone, which I still think was okay. But then he went for a slimless tank push, and he ran into the Immortal army in the center of the map. This is where Percival, he did overextend. It wasn't just that he ran into the army. I should say the Stalkers engaged him, and Percival kept pushing, even though he was losing all his Marines. And we spoke about it at the time. We're like, hold up, the Marines, they have a role here. Yes, there's no stim. The Marines aren't meant to do damage. They're meant to buffer for the tanks. And we saw that Percival, he lost like 4 or 5 Marines on his way across the map. He lost everything. He lost his buffer. He lost too much. He lost far too much, and he still committed anyway. It did feel like overconfidence out of Percival. Overconfidence, just a little bit too excited there, and with that, he gets punished for that overconfidence. GG, well played. GG, well played. And with that, we are heading over to the European server as we have our next challenger. But also, long live the new king. Papi, Papi, ay. Is our new King of the Hill. We'll see how long his reign lasts, though. Again, Percival, he's one of the more dominant players out there when it comes to the OSC Elite kind of tournament formats. We'll see how long Bappy can hold on to that crown, because up next we do have a mighty challenger as well. He was also competing this morning, and he had a crazy result in the Pegasus Cup. Oh boy, if you were there, you know. Up next, PvP, Bappy and Shameless as the new challenger. Let's go. Here we go. As we have our next game, we're going to be loading into ley lines for our new best of 1. Again, if you weren't here this morning, I do recommend the votes. I mean, we didn't get to cast it, unfortunately, but we did cover the Pegasus Cup. I said didn't get to cast it. We didn't get to cast the upper semifinals, and Shameless, he made it all the way to the grand finals. How did he get to the finals? He 3-0'd Hero. He 3-0'd Hero in a PvP. And speaking of, that's what we have ready for you. A PvP is spawning in the top right hand corner of ley lines. We have the Hero Slayer himself representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the current King of the Hill. We have the Red Protoss player from Lena, Poland. It is Bappy. Aye, Bappy. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open, and place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, I do favor Shameless coming into this, but I should also emphasize I favor Shameless in a best of 3 and or a best of 5. In a best of 1, as we just saw, hey, anything is possible. Bappy, he could go on a tear, or he could just turn crowns over from one game to the other here. Pressure is on. We'll see if Bappy can go on a win streak. He's got 1 solid win under his belt. Let's see if he can go for another. Here we go. As now we do have a 2-gate opener at a Shameless, likewise 2-gate opener at a Bappy. 2-gate openers all around. So far, mirrored builds. Likewise, both players are going to be searching for each other's second pylon, which will soon be thrown down. Going to build that. There it is. Second pylon here for Shameless, and the second pylon for Bappy. And both players confirm. Both players a scout. They confirm, okay, you have your second pylon in the main base. There is no proxy. Next up, we're going to be looking for the third pylon as well. And of course, getting a read and getting an idea on the first 2 units of choice. Do we open up a double Stalker, double Sentry, Double Adept, Stalker Sentry, or Zealot Expand? We have the answer. So Stalker Sentry here out of Pappy. Meanwhile, we do have Stalker Sentry out of Shameless. So far, mirrored builds. So far, standard openers. Stalker Sentry is a go-to just because it does allow you to defend back at home. It allows you to scout, more importantly, right? Sentries, they play a pivotal role here in PvP when it comes to scouting with their hallucinations. As you can imagine, in PvP, you know, there's a lot of tech available. You can go for a Stargate, you can go for a Dark Shrine, you can go for a Twilight Council, you can go for a Robo. There's a lot of tech options here. That's why scouting is paramount. Now we are moving out. Hallucinations are moving in. We have our tech of choice, going to be a Twilight Council out of Shameless. Likewise, Twilight Council out of Pappy as well. Hallucinations that will confirm from both players. They get eyes on the expansions, they get eyes on the tech of choice. Eyes on the tech. So far, nothing too hidden. So far, everything's looking normal. From here, we can double down. We can go for additional gateways, even hidden gateways, and go for a 2-base all-in. Otherwise, we should be expanding. And so far, we have the answer. So far, we are expanding. So we're calming down. We're settling in. Of course, there are times where PvP can be a little more aggressive, a little more assertive, but not here, not between these two. More of a classic European PvP. True, true. We're calming down. We are calming things down as the players are now taking up into their own robos, into their own saturation. And we're building up. Yeah, the first sign here of tech is going to be the Forge. So Forge are +1, working towards a later upgrade. Of course, both players calming down, getting to their third CCs of their Nexus. He's looking for a way in. Again, just poking, prodding. Shouldn't really commit with anything. Bearing in mind, again, he's the one that's working on the upgrade. So he's going to be focusing on a gateway heavy composition. We do see that Shameless is going to be the first player to take up in towards Charge. Charge is on the way. Let's say bust into the mineral line. Getting a couple of worker kills. And 2, 3. Oh, gee, I say a couple. Getting up to 4, getting up to almost 5. 5 pros going down. Nice damage here from Shameless. Damage so far. Might be trying to find some counter damage. Doesn't really find much. Yes, from here, probably the pressure is on. Is down in workers and will attempt to delay the 4th base, but won't quite be able to. Yeah, both players going to be expanding, both players taking their 4th bases, both players building up. players are building up. Both players now getting into their forts, now taking up even further. When it comes to your typical tech transition here, I mean, we're kind of going down the path that we expect, getting to charge, blink, then in towards immortal production, Archon production as well. The reason for this is Zealots, of course, they can trade very well here against Stalker Immortal just because they're so cheap and they tank so many shots as well. Because Zealots are such a big part of the mid game, you need Archons. Archons, that's going to be the answer to the mass charge lots. No good. The first Archon is on the way. So we need those Archons to be kind of the backbone of the army to deal with all the Zealots. Shameless is moving in. Does distract. As he calls the distraction, here we go. Prism into the main. Prism is moving in. Have even upgrades. Babby going for the dive. Oh, but his army is up behind. Yeah, fighting with half his army. He gets baited in. Stalker's going to be going down. Expensive losses there for Babby. And at the same time, going for a massive warp in into the main base. Zelze pull Babby apart. Ay. And in one fell swoop, Zelze bust in. They deny +2. They force a recall. And Babby just getting torn apart. Losing an Immortal as well. Yeah, the Immortal goes down. Prism backs up. It's still alive, so we can always surrender another dive. And again, Babby just being a little bit too excited there. Again, he chased the army, he got baited into the blink. The force fields were perfect there from Shameless. At the same time, did cause that distraction. And from here, Shameless looking solid. From here, Shameless, I mean, he's still maintaining his bases, he still has a larger army. And it's so difficult to recover in this position here. Babby, the one way to do so would be to counterattack, right? With Zealot around by his War Prism as well, he would have to be active in some way. Shameless is diving in. Chasing down those Zealots. Force fields they buy some time, but we're just breaking through. Yeah, Shameless, he breaks through. He's gonna overwhelm. We have Zealots coming in from behind, but the Archons, they can deal with that. Prism goes down as well. And Shameless, he completely overwhelms. He just swallows up the army. GG gets called, and Shameless, he will take the game. He will be our new King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here, Shameless. He will claim the game. And Babby, he popped off earlier, taking down Percival, but only a win, only the crown for a single game, as it looks like Shameless, he will strip that crown away from him. He is our new King of the Hill. Again, the PvP was pretty close, was pretty neck and neck, but there were a couple of key moments. The Adept Harass, and of course, the main fight. The main fight as well, where we saw that Shameless kind of baited the Stalkers to blink forward, or I should say Babby just getting a little bit too excited. Blink forward, we saw force fields lock down the rest of the army, so Stalkers were on their own. At the same time, Prism to the main. GG. GG, well played. And with that, Percival, he is going to be our new King of the Hill. And now, sorry, Shameless. I keep saying Percival. God. Shameless will be our new King of the Hill, and the question becomes, who will be our new challenger? Let's go. Let us go. As we are getting ready for our next game. We are getting ready for our next challenger. And again, we are 5 matches in, getting to our 5th best of 1. Let's go. Whew, let us go. Now, we are going to be going on a short break here. Again, there are 15 best of 1s in total, and we're now, I guess, a third of the way through. Some of these games have been a little bit faster than others, but we're going to be going on a very short break, and when we come back, we will have our next game. We'll have our next best of 1. Don't you worry, we'll get there. We'll see you guys soon in a couple of minutes with the remainder of the broadcast. See you soon. See you soon. See you soon. Oh. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our second series of the broadcast. Welcome back to our next best of one. Now, I do apologize for the downtime, but we were searching for our next opponent. Fun fact, the next opponent, which I see someone asking in the chat, was going to be Iba. It was going to be Iba, but currently he's MIA. Currently, we are still searching for him, and instead we have another Polish Protoss player. Let's go. As spawning in the top right hand corner, we have our new challenger. We have our new would-be usurper. We have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. Again, the current king of the hill, the hero slayer himself. It is Shameless. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our fresh best of one. Let's go. Let us go. And again, Shameless just took down one Polish Protoss, just took down Pappy, but how does he fare against MaNa, who is, I would say, a much stronger opponent, a much stronger competitor, I'll even say favored in this series. Potentially. Shameless and MaNa, I would say, are quite close in skill. They're quite close in skill. MaNa, of course, he's the veteran of the scene. You know, he's been around since the beginning of time, really. He's since when the universe was young, MaNa was old. So MaNa's been around for a very, very long time. But he has been improving a lot over the past year. Over the past 12 months, MaNa has been looking on fire. He's been looking like one of the best Protoss players in all of Europe. We'll see if Shameless can keep up, as we're going for the one base all in. We're going for the proxy. Let's go. Cybercore is just now finishing up, and we're expecting a robo. There it is, proxy robo, one base all in out of Shameless. It's all or nothing for our blue Protoss player. MaNa going for a very greedy opener. Gate, Cyber, Expand. Greedy build here by MaNa, and Shameless, he is here to punish that greed. Let's go. Let's go. Just now coming with the Pro Scout, he does get eyes on the Nexus, does get eyes on the setup on the high ground as well. Again, MaNa, he's known for going for these openers, he's known for cutting corners, especially on Tokamak, one of the larger maps in the map pool. And we'll see if MaNa can survive the all-in. We'll see if he can hold. Oh boy. Oh, good call. I mean, MaNa, he probe scouted. He saw no pylon. He doesn't scout the proxy, doesn't scout the all-in, but he reacts with an early robo. So a solid response here by MaNa. Very safe response, I will say, designed to defend against all-ins. And we'll see if he can. He has the tools to defend, I will say that. MaNa has the tools, but it comes down to the execution. Ooh, as the Deps, one of them does shade in. And gets a full scout. Shameless confirms the robo. Does confirm. Prism is on the way. Gonna be Prism into Immortals. Third gateway gets thrown down, so it's gonna be 3 gates in total. 3 gates, of course, with the robo. 1 base all in. With the help of the War Prism, Shameless, he can bypass the ramp and head straight into the main. Going for the Bay already, going for 1 base, going for Disruptor. Shameless going for Proxy Disruptor, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a reaction to the Immortal. To the defensive robo, I mean. Ooh, nice force fields locking down the Defs. They do no damage. The Defs fire, they do 0 damage. Nice sentry defense here by MaNa. Again, buying time. The first Immortal has arrived. And Shameless is still waiting for the Bay. Here we go. Yeah, the Bay is almost done. The Disruptor is almost upon us. Till then, dropping into the main. Oh, going for these key units. They can go for the sentry. Shield battery is ready in the main. Sentry does not go down. Nice setup here. Again, we have shield batteries and natural shield battery in the main base as well. MaNa, he's ready for the dive into the main. Again, MaNa is ready. Shameless threatening a shade. Doesn't commit. Disruptor is out. Now, again, if it was only Immortals here, the MaNa would have a really strong defense. Against the Disruptor, it comes down to the Nova. If the Nova connects the Nova, ideally wants to target down as many of these sentries as possible. Here we go. Disruptor moves in. Nova goes up. Not quite. He's holding on to it. There it is. Nova won't quite connect. Yeah, it doesn't quite connect. Items are saved. Disruptor was revealed, of course. The other scary thing, or the other difficult thing here, is that if we send it over towards the army, the Prism can always pick up. Can always pick up and save those units as well. There's pick up micro. Seamus never goes off. Oh, gets one Stalker. Just the one. It's value. There he goes. Second Immortal. Oh no! Ooh, the Immortals overextend. Calm down. Nova goes off. Ooh, catching out 3 sentries. That's what he's looking for. That's what he wanted. 3 sentries go down, and that's good. That's going to be go time. Shameless still trying to force his way in. Shield Barriers are putting in a lot of work. Another Nova goes off. Ooh, doesn't quite connect. Not big up there by MaNa. Does save those Immortals. Again, Shameless trying to break through. Does pull back. Nova goes off. Ooh, doesn't connect. And without those Novas connecting, I don't know if he has enough. There's still 3 Immortals remaining here, going for another warp in. This time is denied. Nice Nova there from Shameless. But you can see how low the army is, how low HP it is. And MaNa is chasing him down. MaNa just trying to chase him down. There's 1 Immortal remaining. There we go. Does get a second Immortal. Oh, Disruptor tells her extend. Brutal pickup. Sniping all 3 Disruptors. Sorry, all 2 even. All 2 Disruptors go down. 1 Immortal falls. And Shameless, it looks like he might still have enough. Once again, trying to force his way through. Going for the Archosis pylon. Nice pickup. Depowers everything. Depowers 4 shield batteries, but there's still 4 Immortals. 4 Immortals to remain. Again, Shameless once again forced back. He's trying to get on top of those Immortals, but so far the control is on point. MaNa not losing anything yet. The Immortals, I mean. There we go. 1 Immortal finally goes down. Gets 1. MaNa, he wants that Immortal. Ah! He wants it. He will lose the Natural. Natural goes down. We'll lose the Nexus. Oof, as this, yeah, the Phoenix will shut down the Prism, will lift the Immortal. And MaNa, he should have held. He's sure he lost the base. But from here, he will chase everything else down. Again, there's no more micro potential. Without that Prism, there's just nothing to really threaten MaNa. And MaNa can expand. MaNa can freely expand. Shameless running out of steam. Our Kings here this week. They've been trading back and forth. We haven't had too much of a win streak outside of Percival, and even then it was only 2. Only 1. No, 2. It's only 2 wins for Percival. MaNa breaking out. On the pylon. Takes down the robo. Here is moving in. And collapsing in the army. And there's just nothing remaining here for Shameless. He's got 1 Immortal, he's got a couple of Stalkers. He's doing what he can, getting to his own Phoenixes, of course. But there's only so much they can do. I mean, they're gonna get the Prism at least, true. They at least get the Prism. The army gets up the ramp. Here, going for the Stargate. Ooh, does focus on the Immortal. And MaNa, he has done it. He will overwhelm. GG gets called. MaNa, he will take down Shameless. He will survive the 1 base all-in, counter-attack with his own. And MaNa, he will be the new King of the Hill. GG. Whew. GG, well played. MaNa, he will claim the game, he will claim the series. Again, very intense, and honestly, Shameless had a lot of potential, but as we saw, there was only one good Nova. There was only one good Nova, which connected with 3 sentries. Outside of that, he got 1 Stalker, and I think that's it. He got 1 Stalker, he got 3 sentries. That's all the damage he got with the Disruptors, despite getting, what, 2, 3 Disruptors? I think it was 2 in the end. There was a lot of potential with the Disruptors, for sure, but it didn't really reach that potential, and in the end, GG. In the end, GG, well played. In the end, MaNa does claim the game here. He is going to be our new King of the Hill, and long may he reign. We'll see if he can survive a little bit longer here. And so far, we have been trading blows, and again, so far, the longest win streak, at least tonight, has only been 2 games. It's only been 2 games. So we'll see if MaNa can go on a longer win streak here. We shall see. God damn it. As we have our new challenger. We have our next player here stepping into the ring. A player that I don't think I've casted before, actually. So let's go. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. Up next, going to be MaNa versus Kanoya, our French caster. Oh boy. Yo, meanwhile, shout out to Late's Chrononauts in the chat. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Subscribing for 11 months for almost a full year of support. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support, Late Chrononaut. We do appreciate it. Almost a full year. Jesus. That's I mean, that would have been around EWC last year, even. The first time you subscribed. So thank you. Thank you so much. Always do appreciate it. As welcome to OSC King of the Hill. Again, we're still in the first half of the broadcast. We're currently in match number 6. We're getting ready for our next game. Oh boy. Alright, getting ready. And I believe Kanoya's Terran. Well, you know what? Actually, I can just poke in. I can poke in, I can double check. Actually, he might be race picking. Might even play random. True. We'll see. We shall see. We shall find out. But again, MaNa versus Kanoya is going to be coming up next. EWC last year was my first time to jump back to SC since Brutal. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a long hiatus, actually. That's longer than most late Chrononaut. That's really interesting. That's really interesting to hear, because obviously there's a lot of stories about maybe new players, new viewers, new fans, or returning fans that maybe they dipped their toes in Wings of Liberty, or maybe in Heart of the Swarm, or maybe Start of Legacy, then they went on a break and then came back. But instead, to actually miss out on Wings, to miss out on Heart of the Swarm, to miss out on early Legacy, to not even come in during the COVID era, by the way, which is when we got a big influx of new viewers and new fans of StarCraft, was during the COVID era, because everyone was at home. So a lot of people started playing and watching for the first time during that COVID era as well. But for it to be 2024, that's interesting. That's something you don't hear too often. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm glad you've been enjoying it. StarCraft 2 has been a new fun experience. Oh, that's nice. That's nice to hear. But also really cool to hear that that of course you got introduced back in Brood War, of course, before going back into SC2. Crazy. Say this all the time, but eventually I'll go back to. I still have not played Brood War Remastered. I have to get around to it one of these days. I played it so much Brood War as a kid. It's one of those things where I feel like the new generation of people are a little bit spoiled nowadays, but but back in the day, you didn't have Netflix, right? You would, whenever your family would own a movie, you'd rewatch it. You'd rewatch it over and over and over again. Same when it comes to games. Like at least when I was a kid, like you'd maybe get a game for your birthday, right? Like that, like birthday, Christmas. You know, those are the 2 games of the year, birthday and Christmas. Like those are the 2 times of the year we'd actually get something. So whenever you got a game, you'd play the hell out of it. For me, it was like Age of Empires 1 or Brood War, of course, as well. Well, like that's what you got, so that's what you commit to, you know. Outside of course, like your friends getting games, so then you go over to your friend's house or you go over to like your cousin's house and you get to like, I don't know, play something that they got instead, right? So that was like a big part of I guess our culture back in the day. So yeah, it was played a lot of Brood War as a kid. but single player, not like multiplayer. I didn't have the internet for that sort of thing. But here we go, we're getting into our next game, we're getting into our next best of 1, and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Sandworm, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. Our current king of the hill, it is MaNa. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have our new challenger, we have the caster himself, the French caster, and our Terran player, it is Kanoya. Let's go. And if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as jump into our initial PVT. And I'll be honest, again, I haven't had the luxury of casting Kanoya before. Kanoya is mainly a caster, mainly a streamer. Kanoya isn't too much of a competitor, but has dipped his toes into an OSC King of the Hill from time to time. So we'll see what kind of cheeky builds we have in store for us. Let's go. Este Kanoya. So far, single gas. Single gas going for a more economic start, but does open up with an eBay block on the low ground. Okay, so we do go for the eBay block. Also, welcome one and all to Sandworm. If you weren't watching StarCraft at the start of the year, this might be a new site for you. But Sandworm, this was a TLMC map, if you remember. This is a part of the mission. Oh no! As Kanoya gets baited by the probe and does pull the boys, doesn't quite get the kill. But Sandworm was one of the TLMC, the latest Team Liquid map contest maps, and this map was actually played quite a lot in our tournaments. Not just our tournaments, but in general, all the online tournament organizers did actually make custom map pools featuring the TLMC maps, and Sandworm was a very popular one. It was a very popular map. A lot of the players did embrace it as well, as eBay is going to be fixed. Oh, that's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel. Oh, a bit of a slip up there from Kanoya. Behind this, going for 2 more racks in the main base, going for 3 racks, not expanding, setting up for a 1 base all-in. So 1 base all-in out of Kanoya. When it comes to some of the features of this map, we have the Dragon's Teeth in the center. Fun fact, only certain units can fit between these Dragon's Teeth. Only a couple of units, depending on how thin they are. More hefty units will have to go the long way around. So this can create some choke points, can create some interesting scenarios. Meanwhile, we have the gold base in the center as well, and actually this gold base is quite accessible. We have seen a lot of players take the gold base as their third. Even though there are rocks to delay mining, you can expand, take down the rocks, and just take it quite freely, to be honest. So we have seen a lot of players rush into that gold as well, but we won't get there because, again, 1 base all in. Right, 1 base all in out of Kanoya. He might pull the boys with this as well. What I will say is it's going to hit a little bit later as we are waiting for Stim and Combat Shields. We're waiting for the upgrades and waiting for the eventual move out. Oh boy. There we go. Stim is on the way. Meanwhile, MaNa, he is more or less aware of what's happening. He saw everything. MaNa, with the probe scout, he saw the single gas, he saw both Raxes, he saw no CC, so MaNa just has to play it safe. I wouldn't be opposed to MaNa even going for a robo on 2 bases, like go 3 gates, blink into a robo, take the gases as well. Boys are being pulled, and oh Jesus, this is a little bit premature here. Stim is not done, Stim only just began. But already boys are being pulled, and already SCVs are going to be going down, and this is impacting the economy of Kanoya. Remember, Kanoya, he doesn't even have full saturation back at home. Like, pulling these boys, it is hurting him. As he does race back home, there we go, he does now saturate, at least tries to. see MaNa. Oh, picking up the Marauder, gets a Marauder, gets SCVs, gets a Marine as well. And again, Konoya, he's running out of units here. He's running out. Marine's Marauder is going to be going down. MaNa does push. Yeah, it does push. It does catch out the Marauders, and there's just not much here. There's not much left here. Stim is complete, but there's only a handful of Marines remaining. Yeah, there's just a handful of bio units. Marauder is going to be targeted down. Nice control here by MaNa. Does pull back those Stalkers. Does pull back. Ooh, we'll lose another Stalker. But that's all the units gone. That's still no more Marauders remaining. More boys being pulled, and MaNa, he's just overwhelming. He's breaking through, busting into the main. Again, I appreciate that Konoya did try something a little bit quirky, but definitely can be refined. As one base all-ins go. I feel like if you're going for a one base 4 racks, you can pull that off, typically though without Stim, just because it takes so long to, or maybe just only with one tech lab. But even then, I would look at Honmono. Like Honmono, he's got some crazy one base all-ins in this matchup. But regardless, GG gets called, and with that MaNa, he will take the game. He will claim his second win in OSC King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. MaNa, he will claim the win. He will maintain himself as the current King of the Hill. Shout out to Konoya for again competing. As I mentioned before, Konoya, he typically is not a competitor. He's typically covering the event. He's typically casting in French. So shout out to Konoya for stepping into the ring and for facing off against these other bigger names. GG. GG, well played. Much love to Konoya, as that leads us into our next matchup. Leads us into our next best of 1. We go. Replayability was a marketable tactic. I mean, I feel like even games that didn't really have much like variety or much replayability, like you'd still like play the hell out of them. Like I feel like there were a little, like, I don't know, like point and click adventure games, like which didn't even have too many branching paths, but you just that's what you had. So you just you just played over and over again. Different time. Different time. But regardless, we do have our next competitor here. We have our next opponent. Okay, we have our new challenger. It is going to be another Protoss versus Protoss matchup. It is going to be MaNa versus UED Soldier. Let's go. And as we get ready here, a big shout out to K-Store TV in the chat. God, thanks so much. Thanks so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for subscribing for 3 months. For 3 months and on a 2-month win streak as well. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy. As we are nearing the halfway mark. We are nearing the halfway mark here. Again, this is going to be our 7th best of 1, and remember, we have 15. We have 15 in total, so we're almost halfway there. So we are setting up. So again, MaNa's got 2 wins under his belt, and we'll see if he can keep that going. I do feel like UD Soldier can threaten him. UD Soldier, he's a bit of a dark horse. Like every now and then he pops off. Every now and then he comes out of left field and takes down a big name, especially in a PvP or sometimes a PvT as well. So we'll see what he has to offer here as we're jumping into our next game. Jumping into our next best of 1. As a reminder, it is going to be UD Soldier's map of choice. And we have our map. Interesting. We're going to be taking, it's a bit of a blast from the past, so we're going to be loading into Oceanborn. I didn't really get to talk about it, but last game we loaded into Sandworm, if you remember, in the last best of one, and we spoke about how that was an older, I say older, that's a recent TLMC map. Here we have Oceanborn. Now the reason for this, Oceanborn was around a couple of seasons ago, I think even last season, so it's been a couple of months actually since this has been in the tournament map pool, but again, OSC, they do feature an extended map pool. So we have your typical ladder maps, but we also have other maps that were voted on by the players and by the casters as well. I'm pretty sure I voted on Sandworm actually. I'm pretty sure I did vote on it just because I did enjoy it myself as well. But here we go, we're getting to our next best of one, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Oceanborn we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss, the current king of the hill with 2 wins under his belt, representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner we have his opponent, we have the green Protoss player, the green Protoss himself, representing CSO Esports. It is Jumy Soldier. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats coming into this. MaNa, I mean, there's a reason why he's the king of the hill. MaNa is coming in as that favorite player, but again, Jumy Soldier, he can punch up and he can cause upsets and he can threaten these bigger names. Let's go. Let's go. Their predictions. We typically wait for the game to start just in case something happens. Typically wait for the beginning of the game before we get into the Gamba. Jumy Soldier, I don't know. Jumy Soldier, he's been around for a couple of years. Like, when I think of Jumy Soldier, I think of Rostock, right? There's another that comes to mind. The Cannon Rusher. I think of Gref, that's it. I think of Rostock, I think of Gref. I think of GG Machine. I think of Mini Zerg as well. What else do I think of? I almost said, kind of Arc Fire. I almost said Jomek. No. I wasn't quite thinking of Jomek. Extra Striker, that's Extra Striker. There's a lot of players, and especially Protoss players from the region. And we are going for the one base all in. Okay. We're going for the Proxy Robo. Very similar to what we saw at a Shameless. So Proxy Robo here out of Jumy Soldier, he's going to commit. So meanwhile, across map, MaNa once again gates Cyber Expand. Now again, MaNa, he's known for this opener, he's known for this build, he's known for cutting corners and going for these greedy starts in PvP. That is why Shameless blindly went for a Proxy Robo one base all in. And Jumy Soldier, he gets found as MaNa, he will scout and confirm the one base all in. The Zella did pop out, he's going for the pylon as well, and before we could really get this going, Jumy Soldier, he's in danger here. He's in danger, he's in trouble. I think they're taking a lot of damage. The first adept is going to go down. One adept does fall. And I mean, yeah, the pylon is under fire. He's going prison first, so the pylon, it may just go down. We could just target it down. Oh, as I said, that reinforcements have arrived. So Jumy Soldier, he will save this position. But they do trade. Yeah, they do trade once. Oh no! Oh my god, no! The body blocking! MaNa, he's crazy! He was hidden in the tall grass and was intentionally moving to block his opponent to stop any vision. He was stopping vision there, so he got extra hits in. Cheeky moves out of MaNa. GG! That was crazy! Hold on. Can I rewind that? I don't think I've seen that dynamic before. But GG, well played. MaNa, he does take the game. Again, MaNa, he had his Stalker in the tall grass and he was body blocking, stopping the opponent's unit from getting into the tall grass, so he couldn't see what was attacking him. That was crazy. The Prism was too far out as well. Eventually the Prism turned back around, but again, very cheeky moves there out of MaNa. Very nice control, and with that, MaNa, he will claim the game and maintain himself as the king of the hill. GG. GG, well played. That was wild. GG, well played. So MaNa, he will take the win there again. Some very crisp control out of MaNa to shut down the Stalkers. To scout, of course, winding it back, it came down to his ability to scout the proxy to confirm the 1-base all-in and to shut it down. GG, well played. And with that, we are now getting ready for our next best of one. Let's go. I do see a couple of players online. I mentioned earlier that Eba was slated to compete. Likewise, I see Baby Marine lurking around. I see Sebestes lurking around as well. Sebestes. Baby Marine. Oh, speaking of, we do have him. Speaking of, we have our next player. It is going to be MaNa versus Sebestes. Oh boy. What did he do? Basically, when your unit is in, whether it's tall grass, whether it's a steam vent, there are certain environmental factors that can obscure vision. You cannot attack that unit unless you have vision of that area, with a scan, with something in the air, or by going into that obscured vision yourself. But we saw in that little scenario, that little interaction, MaNa, he was actually rotating his Stalker with his opponent's Stalker and just staying in front of him so that UD Soldier could not actually step into the tall grass. He couldn't step in, he could not see the Stalker. he kept turning around, he kept trying to go in, but MaNa was just body blocking him the entire time. It was crazy. But let's go. We're getting to our next game, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Percival, we have our yellow Protoss player from the land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy. It is Sebestes. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss, the current king of the hill, representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our PvP. Here we go. Sebestes, of course, being one of the younger players in the scene. I say younger players. I think he might be a little bit older than like Shameless and of the sort. But regardless, one of the younger players, of course, has been on Team Roddy for quite some time, has been improving and has been competing. And coming into this, we'll see how he compares to MaNa. MaNa, once again, we've seen every PvP. Gate into Cybercore into Nexus. A very greedy build. This is the reason why both Shameless and UD Soldier responded with 1-base all-ins. They both responded, and they both failed. Meanwhile, Sebestes, I'm sure he was watching. What does he go for? What does he go for? What is the plan? For now, just going for a 2-gate opener back at home, waiting for the Cybercore. Does have a pylon, sorry, does have a probe across the map. He can pylon block. Likewise, so can MaNa. There's the initial Zealot. Zealot pops out. Sebestes is going for a Stargate opener. MaNa has yet to confirm. Ooh, as down goes the probe. And the pylon block, oh, it does not block the expansion. Yes, so a little bit of a fumbled execution there from Sebestes. He will lose the probe, he will lose the pylon. MaNa does expand.
Our pylon is under attack.
And MaNa does not, oh sorry, he also scouts a tech, he also scouts a Stargate. So MaNa, he will have the better economy. Sebestes will have the faster Oracle. And the purpose of the Oracle is to harass, right? Is to get across the map, is to harass, is to get some economic damage. Is to move out. Now the problem here is that because MaNa knows, MaNa, he can open up with a Phoenix. He can go for a Phoenix opener instead. There we go, shield batteries are on the way to protect the mineral lines, and his goal here is to shut down that Oracle. Oh boy. Hallucinations moving in. Does scout, does confirm the Oracle's on the way. And back at home, there it is. Oh, a bit of a supply block, but it is going to be a Phoenix first. I say a bit. That's a big supply block, actually. Yeah, that pylon was very late. And that will slow down the Phoenix. That means that this Oracle can maybe find some damage. Sebestos is moving in. Oracle doesn't quite commit. I mean, Sebestos, he doesn't know about said supply block. Likewise, Sebestos, he did not quite scout the main. He's not aware of the Phoenixes, not yet. Until now. Uh-oh. Oracle goes in, and the Phoenix does reveal itself. We have to recall immediately. Does recall, does get the hell out of here. Does get away, and now we have a second Oracle. Now, we can see Sebestos, he's doubling down. Coming into this is going to be a little bit difficult, but basically, Sebestos, 2 Oracles, they can one-shot probes. So a shield battery is not enough to protect the mineral line, not anymore. And the goal here is to somehow get across the map and bypass these Phoenixes. If he can slip by, if he can get past the Phoenixes and get into a mineral line, then this will be worth it. If he gets caught, then he will fall behind. Because this is a big investment here from Sebestos, investing into 2 Oracles. So we'll see if Sebestos can get past. You can see Phoenixes are patrolling on the right. So MaNa, he's looking for the Oracles on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, they're on the left instead. And Phoenix is out of position. Oracle's moving in. MaNa, he's on patrol. And MaNa, he will miss the Oracles. Ooh, just barely does spot them. He's racing back home. Does bust into the mineral line. Bro's going to be going down. He gets up to 6 rows already. The adepts are popping up. Oh my god. The adepts in the natural, Oracles in the main. And 9, 10, 11 probe kills. He's going to throw everything away, but hey, he gets 10. He gets 10 probes. Not bad. I mean, 10 workers isn't bad, but what did he lose? He lost 3 adepts and 2 Oracles. That was a big investment. That was a big investment. Now it's time to counterattack. MaNa does move out. Stalks to position. Ooh, nice catch. Sebestos running him away. But MaNa, he's now gained map control. Stop moving out. It does hit the mineral line. Yeah, Emperor's going to be falling. Adepts moving on the right-hand side as well. It does move on the right. Takes down the shield battery. Boys are being pulled into the adepts. Uh-oh. Yeah, more probes are going to be going down. Not too many though, just 5 for the time being. Meanwhile, goes back into the main, catching us. Stalkers. Adepts. Oh, they shade in. They shade in. Sebestos, he's being pulled apart. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Sebestos, he risked so much when it came to his aggression, when it came to his harass, and in the end, it was not worth it. Sebestos, he's all in. Sebestos is going for a massive counterattack instead. I say massive. He has blink. He has 6 stalkers. Back at home, what do we have to defend? We have 2 stalkers and we have 5 phoenixes. The shield battery, more warpins as well. And MaNa, all he has to do is hold, and he will. Oof. Catching a stalker. MaNa, he's up 10 workers. And when behind, Dark Shrine. I mean, what else can we do here? So Dark Shrine is on the way. It's quite a risk here that Sebestos is taking, but I mean, what else can he do outside of going for some counterattacks and trying to bypass the army? Robo's on the way from MaNa, working towards detection. Detection is on the way. Sebestos. Sounds like Sebestos. Kinda. Kinda. Not really. Maybe in an accent. Maybe. Ah. But regardless, sits up on the right. Have that pylon. Likewise, MaNa moving out. Oh. And we'll see if Sebestos can hold on here. He does have a 5 stalker lead. Ah, I spoke too soon. Here come the warpins. Yeah, here come the reinforcements. Sebestos does blink down. Takes down a couple of phoenixes, not bad. Yeah, catching out the army. MaNa has to get the hell out of here. Does pull out. Does pull away. Sebestis takes the fight. MaNa still has the economic lead, and Sebestis with the proxy, it looks like a 2-base all-in. Yeah, 2-base all-in here. How many gates? 4, soon to be 5. Gets on top of the 3rd. MaNa trying to engage. Catching a couple of stalkers. Nice damage out of MaNa. At the same time, it upstate Jubus into the mineral line. The 7 probe is going to be going down. Sebestis is catching up. He's catching up, but that's way too soon. Yeah, he gets caught out here, and with that, GG gets caught. Sebestis not liking his chances. And MaNa, he will take the game. He'll maintain himself as still the king of the hill. GG. GG, well played. Again, it was a really rough start from Sebestis. Winding it back as a reminder what the Sebestis do, he went for a Stargate opener. Not just a Stargate opener, he doubled down and went into double Oracle. He went into double Oracle, double Adept Aggression. Meanwhile, he did get some probe damage. Remember, he healed 10. He killed 10 workers, but he lost the Oracles, he lost the Adepts, and then triggered a counterattack. And in that counterattack, MaNa did crippling damage. He took a massive lead, and Sebestis was playing from behind from that moment. If you remember, his way to come back was he went for a Dark Shrine. He committed on 2 bases. He delayed his own 3rd base. He was getting some value and getting some damage, but it was not enough. GG. GG well played. With that, MaNa does claim the win here, and the question becomes, who's up next? Who is up next? Oh boy. Here we go. Who do I see lurking in the chat? True, I still see Babe Marine. True. Still see him lurking about. I think I see Mini Zerg as well. Oh, that's it. Speaking of, yeah, there we go. There we go. We have our answer here. It is not going to be a PvP. It is going to be a PvT. Oh. It's going to be a PvT between MaNa and Baby Marine. Oh boy. I do think that Baby Marine actually has a pretty good chance at causing an upset here. Like, I still favor MaNa, 100%. Like, again, this is the reason why he's the king. It's the reason why he's the king of the hill. MaNa, he is still coming in as a favorite player, but I do believe that Baby Marine, he has it in him to bring him down, to cause that upset. Once again, though, reminder, best of 1. 1 shot is all you have. 1 chance, 1 opportunity, and here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Italian Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Streamer Zone. It is Baby Marine. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the Polish Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. I believe on a 4-game win streak. Oh boy. And the current king of the hill. I'm just gonna double check that. I mean, un momento. Yeah, with 4 wins under his belt. Here we go as we load into a very different matchup. Very different. The players are going to be opening up. Welcome one to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Shorter rushes to spike ground. For Baby Marine to pick Ultra Love, I imagine he wants to go for aggression. And there it is, double gas opener at a Baby Marine. This can lead into a 2-base all-in. That's going to be in the back of my mind coming to this map, specifically because Baby Marine did pick it, and I'm sure it's going to be in the back of MaNa's mind as well, especially after the double gas opener. Probe Scout is coming in after checking for a proxy. Back in, and we'll confirm the opener of choice. Delays the depot. Sounds delay. You see he's here on top of the ramp, and he's looking for a said tech of choice. Factory's on the way. Factory's on the way. Again, no CC on the low ground. Now from here we can go into Reaper Hellion, we can go into Reactor Reaper Hellion, we can go into early Mine Drop, into early Tech Lab, into say Cyclones, we can work into an add-on swap, we can go for early tank production, we can go into early Banshee play. What are we going for? Eyes are on Baby Marine. setting up. To have Babe Marine threatening a dive. Doesn't quite knock himself into the main. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of MaNa. Opening up safely. We're leaning towards 3-gate blink. Into a Robo. Meanwhile, interesting. It is going to be the initial Widowmine for a Widowmine drop. But we're not making additional Widowmines. We're going back into Hellion production. Okay. Interesting. As we're setting up with the initial drop. Did I not... Oh, my apologies. my apologies. I was so engrossed in the game itself. So it's a little bit late. We're 3 minutes in, but if you're in the chat, it's Gamba time. So I do apologize, but yes, it is Gamba time. So you can predict on who you think will claim the win. Will it go the way of MaNa? Will it go the way of Baby Marine? Best of luck. Best of luck. You do have a minute to place your bets. As here comes the initial drop. Hallucination does confirm. The Hallucination also gets eyes on the tech lab on the factory that there's no add-on swap. We're going for the early tank. Ooh, early tank production here at a Baby Marine. Ah, she's so engrossed by it. Oh my god. So drop is moving out. Likewise, Stalker's in position. Making his way towards that main. Widowmine is going to be completely shut down, so solid defense here from MaNa, at least initially. And again, we can see that MaNa, he's staying on 2 bases. Now, I assume it was going to be 3 gates blink into a Robo. It's 3-gate blink, Robo, double gases, Forge as well, so very committed 2-base play to MaNa. A very delayed 3rd base, hyper defensive play here from MaNa. Or very safe, should emphasize. And we did mention, we did bring up the early tank production out of a Marine, and here he comes. He's going for an early tank push. Again, this is a bit of a Bjorn move out. So the reason why I say Bjorn is because he's pushing without stim. There's no stim. Again, the main bulk of the army here, the main bulk of the DPS is going to come from the tank, and he's going for the buildings, going for the cyber core. Does drop off, does unload at the same time, so they catch reinforcements. Marines going down, Cybercore is under fire. Here we go, we can see MaNa with a full surround. Pylon is going to be targeted, the pylon does fall. At the same time, MaNa gets distracted by the Liberator. 4 probes going down. Yeah, Liberator does distract, that means that MaNa, he doesn't collapse on the army. Yeah, the Cybercore, it looks like it's going to fall. Yeah, one more tank volley. Cybercore goes down. Hellion into the natural. Nice damage. Ooh, and does he get away? Oh my god, does not get away. Medevac falls and he will lose everything. The tank, the Medevac, and the Marines. At the same time, Hellion is trying to wreak some havoc, and we'll get a couple of probe kills. Not bad. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, 4 towards the end. Not bad. 5, Jesus. This is getting out of hand. Again, MaNa, he just warped in a Zealot. This was kind of like, this is fallen by the wayside. It was an afterthought more than anything. But 5 probes for a Hellion. Pretty good damage. Pretty good damage. Getting 1 extra worker here in the main. And I was about to say the question becomes, do we go for an all-in or not? The answer is no. We have a 3rd TC on the way, so Babe Marine, he's building up into the mid-game. He is expanding. Babe Marine, he is looking to expand. Meanwhile, MaNa, he has gained map control. Now, what I will say is that MaNa, he took a lot of damage despite being so safe, right? MaNa, he intentionally delayed his 3rd base to defend against aggression, and I would say that he kind of failed to do so. I mean, he survived. Yes, he cleaned everything up. There we go. He does swing forward, but he's going to be punished. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going down. 4 Stalkers, even 5? Oh my, 6. Yeah, 6 Stalkers do fall. Brutal damage there from MaNa. Taking a lot of damage. Losing another Stalker. Another Stalker goes down. dropping into the main. Trying to find some damage, but so far Baby Marine looking solid, dropping across the map himself. Going for the mineral line, forcing a recall. Just with that recall. But Baby Marine, he can just stand and fight, he can focus on those stalkers. And he will. He gets one, he gets two more stalkers, he gets three. Yeah, he punishes the recall. Does equivalent economic damage. Cells are cleaned up. Prism does back off. And yeah, overall, I'm favoring Baby Marine here. He's just done so much more. And hasn't really sustained much damage himself. Now taking a third. Baby Marine gaining momentum. Now, this has been all nice little wins here for Baby Marine. Like punishing the stalkers, counterattacking across the map. But that's a little storm. There's 4 High Templar. There's 5 Templar in total, but 4 with the main army. That's a lot of storms. And Baby Marine a little bit surprised across the map. He's got 2 drops on the map instead. MaNa going for the main army. Widowmine goes down. Storm on the bio. Ooh, yeah, brutal storms. Mine shell's not quite going off, and Baby Marine, he might just lose everything here. Yeah, the boys are falling. No storms remaining. Yeah, no more storms. GG gets called. MaNa, he just goes across the map, goes for the kill. Baby Marine out of position. His drops, they were racing back home, and MaNa, he will claim the win. He will shut Baby Marine down. GG. Whew. GG, well played in the face of the storm. The Baby Marine, he just was not ready. Again, he had a lot of supply across the map. He was going for a drop on the left, he was going for a drop on the right, so his army was weaker back at home. And again, even though MaNa was taking a lot of losses, the main army was terrifying. He had 4 High Templar, he had plenty of storms, he had his Archons as well. He just went straight across the map, right down mid. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that. MaNa, he maintains himself here. He continues his win streak. GG, well played. And now we're getting ready for our next matchup here. Again, MaNa. Can anyone stop MaNa? Can anyone bring him down? I want to believe here that our next opponent, our next challenger, might be able to. We've had some Terran players, we have some Protoss players. This is going to be our first Zerg player, our first Zerg player of the broadcast. Up next, we do have a PVZ. It is going to be MaNa up against Hatsu. Let's go. Let us go. Hatsu is stepping into the ring. And we'll see if Hatsu can cause the upset, can stop the reign of terror that is MaNa. Let's go. Let us go. Good try, Baby Marine. I mean, Baby Marine, he was playing really well. He was playing really well. He was harassing, he was counterattacking, he was doing a lot of good things, of course. But at the end of the day, like, all the harassment means nothing if you can do nothing about the main army, about the main push. Let's go. Oh, tree. Feels dammy, man. Yeah, I did forget about Demi. Look, in my mind, it's just been pure Protoss today. Pure Protoss and a little bit of Terran. So I do apologize. I love you, Demi. I love you. Este varón. Oh, no. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next series, into our next best of 1, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have our Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Team Liquid, the current king of the hill, with 5 wins under his belt. It is MaNa. Esteveru. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the pink Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Hatsu. Here we go. And coming into this, I will say that we have seen Hatsu bring down some of these big names in the past, typically with cheese, typically with all-ins. Like, we've seen many Roach all-in, many a Link Flood from Hatsu that can catch these players off guard with their pants down. We'll see if Hatsu can pull that off here and now. So far, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener is Force Deck the Unnatural Natural. But again, welcome to Pylon. Pylon is known for aggression. Pylon is known for all-ins. Pylon is one of the smaller maps of the map pool. Shorter rush distance by ground. If you're in the chat, before I forget, Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the win here. Again, MaNa is favored. There's a reason why MaNa is the king of the hill. But again, we'll see how we all pieces together. Now, based on the map, based on the building placement here, oh, that is a very fast third hatchery. Interesting. Typically a faster third hatchery like this means that we're going to be skipping the second queen or delaying the second queen. So quite a greedy setup here from Hatsu is what I will say. Very greedy. What I was going to say, based on the hatchery placement, we can spread creep across the map that much faster. We can turn this into like a roach queen all in with a queen walk across the map. But again, we are cutting some corners here, and you can see that Hatsu cannot afford a second queen. The first queen, I believe, should be popping out soon. We have link speed on the way, but we cannot afford two queens in this kind of position here. That is the downside of going for that faster hatchery, as we have one queen on the way. So one queen on the way here from Hatsu. Link speed is in production. We do have a decent chunk of lings in production here, as more lings are on the way. Okay. Still making more. Oh, she cancels. Okay. Hatsu does cancel the third. Cancel the third base, and now going for a massive link flood. And now this makes a little more sense. I was like, are we really going to be greedy and play Macro against MaNa? Nah. We're going for a link flood. Lings, they're banking up on the right-hand side. Lings are amassing. And MaNa is not fully aware. MaNa is somewhat aware of the build of choice, of course, but hasn't seen enough to really tip himself off. MaNa doesn't know. It does open up Stargate into Oracle. The Oracle is going to be ideal against this. Link speed is almost done, and the Lings are just now seen. They're just now spotted. It's going to be a MaNa full. There we go. It does fully wall off. Likewise, recalls us back home. Or does recall the Adept to safety. And the Oracle's going ham. The Oracle's going ham. Now the initial gateway should go down. But behind it, we have a secondary wall. Already a secondary wall. I'm loving the shade here from MaNa as well. And MaNa's holding. Yeah, MaNa is holding. MaNa is shutting this down. The link flood, the longer this goes on, the worse it is for Hatsu. As we have a second pylon on the way. Second pylon, more warp-ins, a second oracle as well. That second oracle is going to be brutal. And there's no way to knock this down. Unfortunately, there's just no way. GG gets called, and with that, MaNa will take the game. MaNa will maintain himself, as he is still the king of the hill. GG. GG, well played. Shout out to Hatsu. I love the build of choice, going for the link flood, canceling the third base, hiding the build as well. It all made sense. It was all coming together. Unfortunately, MaNa just had a really quick reaction, was able to see and scout those lings ahead of time on the right hand side. That allowed MaNa to set up the wall. He was able to set the wall behind the Adept, recall the Adept over as well, and was able to hold on. Again, these Protoss wall-offs, they can be so difficult to break down, especially with link floods. Even Bane busts have a really hard time here against these early Protoss walls. And with that, MaNa does defend, MaNa does claim the game, and with that, we are now getting ready for the final third of the broadcast. That was our 10th best of 1. We only have 5 more left. Only 5 remaining. Ooh, and I just saw someone log on. Oh boy, who's it going to be? But again, shout out to Hatsu again. I do appreciate the build of choice, but again, MaNa was able to scout, was able to react in time, and we'll see who our next challenger is going to be. Who do I see lurking? Oh my god, Showtime! I see Showtime is lurking about on the ladder. Okay, but nah. It is going to be a PvP. I did notice another player logging in. It is going to be the tuna himself. It is going to be Christianer. Okay, PvP between MaNa and Christianer. They are setting up. And this is going to be a spicy one. There is history between these two players. Again, if you were here during the Esports World Cup, the EWC European qualifiers, you would know that these players face off so often during the EU qualifiers and during the Polish Championship as well of Fusion Esports League, and even during the FEL proper as well. Like they've played so much and so often. I will say that Christianer has a recent winning record against MaNa. MaNa did get his revenge over Christianer during the Polish Championship in the group stage, true, where MaNa did defeat Christianer in the best of 3 in the decider match, if I remember correctly. So MaNa, he got his revenge, but I actually lean towards Cristiano here. Like, historically. Actually, I say historically, if this was a full series, I favor Cristiano. If this was a best of three, best of five, I favor Cristiano. And a best of one, it is hard to call. It's a hard one to call. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have our Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Offside Esports. Our new challenger, it is Cristiano. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the current king of the hill, the other Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Here we go. Best of luck in the chat as we do get into our 11th best of one of the broadcast. And again, like in a longer series here, in a full best of, I do actually favor Cristiano, but in a best of one, it can go either way. It can go either way. It's a much harder one to call, at least in my eyes. Once again, we have a 2-gate opener out of Cristiano. Cristiano, he scouts, he sees one gate. One gateway, so gate, cyber expand. Cristiano, he responds with a one-way all in. And we've seen this already plenty of times here tonight, but Cristiano, he's going to be going for the proxy. Meanwhile, MaNa is going to be the defender. Oh. Hello. Now, I assumed that we were going to be proxying a little bit closer, but that is not the case. Cristiano, he is going for the pylon, but based on this location, this looks like a proxy Stargate, not a proxy robo. Now, what I mean by that, if this is a Stargate, this is not a one-base all-in. It's not going to be an all-in. This would be a way to harass, it would be a way to deal economic damage, not a way to kill. Ooh, as the probes, they do find each other. A little bit suspect. MaNa, he knows. Yeah, he's like, hold up, why was the probe there? Something is wrong, and he scouts, he sees, and he scouts a pylon. Yeah, he does find the pylon, he will shut it down. If Cristiano intended to use this pylon in some way, now he will not be able to. Stargate back at home. Yeah, it looks like he wanted to go proxy Stargates, but because he got found, Stargate's back at home instead. Regardless, the goal here is still to do economic damage with the Oracle, but MaNa will have the economic lead. He will have that economy. Stargates are on the way. They do keep burning shade. So far, so good. MaNa is holding. MaNa is defending. And MaNa, did he already scout? He already scouted the opener. He's already aware the Stargate is opening a Phoenix to counter. This is actually very similar to the game that we saw between Sebestos and MaNa. Devs they commit. Ooh, they do commit to shade. They will take down the first depth. The force field will lock this down. Still shading past though. Still doesn't attempt to shade through. Still busting in and breaks through. Gets into the middle line. Probes are going to be going down. He can one-shot probes. He can and he will one-shot. Yeah, probes are going down. It's 4, 5, 6 worker kills. Cristiano building up his oracles. Once again, the goal here is to hide the oracles and to keep them safe from the phoenixes before going in. He does go for the middle line. He does go for the natural. Probe's going to be going down. And how many does he get? He gets 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to get up to 9, up to 10. It's getting close there. 9 workers do go down. Does recall, does save 1 oracle. And because it saves an oracle, he never mind. I was going to say he can maybe force MaNa back home to stay back at home instead. Of course, use it defensively. 2 probes going down, and here come the Phoenixes. Here comes MaNa. But Cristiano, he did enough damage where, hey, Cristiano takes a worker lead. Cristiano, he's up in workers, he's up in economy. Phoenixes, they will counterattack though. They get 3, they get 4, 5. Jesus, 7 probes? 7 probes going down. It's insane. Still not done, by the way. He's, oh my god. Gets up to 8 worker kills. And that lead that Cristiano had, not anymore. Still moving out with the Oracle, but again, there. Oh, never mind. No shield battery. Oh. No shield battery in the main, but there is a Stalker in position. As the Oracle does bust in, does get a couple of probe kills, gets 3, gets 4 probes before going down. I believe that is 13 in total. Not bad. It's still a very tense kind of game state. Now, when it comes to the game state that we do have, it is going to be Immortal Phoenix here out of MaNa. He does have the Robo getting to +1 and getting to Immortal production. Meanwhile, Cristiano working towards Blink Stalker. So Cristiano, he will have map control. He will have the more mobile composition. He has the faster third base as well. That's also quite important here. Faster third. But Stalkers are out of position and probes are still going down. Oh my god, how many probes have fallen this? Protoss players, look away, papi. Oh my god, 33 workers have gone down this game. We have 20 from MaNa and 13 from Cristiano. So that's a lot of probes going down. Ay. They do bust in. Let's see if harassing the main. But again, even though the harassment, even though a lot of probes have been going down, Cristiano still has 3 bases. He still has 3 bases up and running. That's what matters here. That's what's important. Of course, he's in a lower gas count as he's working towards charge and working towards a gateway explosion, working towards more zealots, which is going to be ideal. As he's here to force a cancel. Nicely done. Does lay the third base, does cancel the third as well. Piece is moving in for a counterattack. They will find damage. Yo, no one cares about defense, by the way. Neither MaNa or Cristiano. We're like, nah, we'll just take the punches. We just keep going. Let's get another cancel. Ooh. Another denial. As another 5 probes do go down. But Cristiano, he just tanks it. Just tanks the probe losses. I kill the probes. I didn't even care. There we go. Does cancel the third base once again. That is 4 immortals, though. That's a lot of immortals. He gets 1. 1 immortal goes down. And this is what we're waiting for. Waiting for the mass charge. Let's go. Again, mass zealots have arrived. They will catch 1 immortal. Base is denied. I believe that was a kill. Cancel. That was a cancel. Immortal gets surrounded. Yeah, Immortal's going to be going down. Stalkers, they pick off another Immortal, and MaNa is getting surrounded. He's getting pulled apart. As Zealots, they do get into the mineral line. More Zealots, they peel off into the main. Stalkers, they hit the third base. And Cristiano, he has done it. MaNa, he's been on a crazy win streak here tonight. Winning 6 games in a row, taking down 6 different players. But Cristiano, he is here to stop him. He's here to bring him down. I mentioned before that I favor Cristiano in a longer series, and looks like he will still win it here in the shorter series as well, in said best of 1. Cristiano, he's here to end the win streak. As behind this takes a 4th base, MaNa doesn't even have a 3rd, and MaNa's gonna be forced into an all-in. Like, he has to double down. He's got more Archons on the way, more Immortals on the way, Prisms on the way to reinforce to move out across the map. He's just waiting for the Warp Prism. Meanwhile, it's going to be on Cristiano to slow down the all-in, to slow down the push, to pick away at the army. And we'll see if he can. So an Archon, again, whatever Cristiano can get, it's worth it. If a couple of units here and there, a Phoenix, an Archon, an Immortal, a couple of Zealots, a Prism, whatever you can. Does keep warping in. The longer this game goes on, the better it is for Cristiano. Again, he's on 4 expansions. But he does have to mainly rely on Zealot reinforcements, true, which do struggle against Archons. That's a very heavy Archon composition. As a couple of Wizard Pool. Couple of boys are pulled, and we're going for the base trade. GG gets called as he cannot win that base trade. Cristiano, he will take the game. The reign of terror of MaNa has ended, and now we have a new reign of terror, but still Polish Protoss. True. GG. GG, well played. Cristiano is our new king of the hill. GG, Cristiano, he will claim the win here. Again, a very intense back and forth. Both players taking a lot of losses. Again, it felt like neither player was really concerned about preserving their workers and defending back at home. They were just tanking all the hits, tanking all the shots, losing probe after probe, worker after worker. And in the end, we did see that Cristiano came out on top. He was, in the end, able to get a faster third base, faster saturation, faster fourth base as well. And, of course, able to pick MaNa apart with the Stalkers, with the Zealot run-bys, with all the aggression, with all the harassment. GG. GG, well played. Este Cristiano. He will take down MaNa, and the question becomes, who's up next? Who is up next? Who will challenge Cristiano? Who will challenge our new King of the Hill? Let's go. Let us go as we're heading over to the American server. We have our next challenger here. Oh, it is going to be the Korean player. It's going to be another PvP. Let's just bear that in mind. It's going to be another Protoss versus Protoss. Up next is going to be a PvP between Cristiano and Rebellion. Let's go. Is gonna be Cristiano versus Rebellion, and our game is gonna be on Oceanborn. Oh boy. Of course, Rebellion, he's been around for a very, very long time. I remember seeing and watching Rebellion back in what, like 2016, 2015 even as well. Rebellion, he used to go by Gyelzing, of course. He's a Korean Protoss, has been around for a long time, has been competing for a long time, and we'll see how he compares to Cristiano. In a series, I still lean towards Cristiano. I still lean towards Cristiano as the favorite player, but again, best of one. Rebellion, he can pop off. He can pop off in a best of one. I do believe. He's got some quirky builds. Rebellion does often come up with his own builds as well. Does often come up with them. So we'll see what he has in store for us. Here we go. Just catching up with the chat. The king is dead. Long live the king. Exactly, exactly. I'm hungry. Oh, the Philly cheesesteak. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. I just had some food just before the cast. But here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into our 12th best of one as we are nearing the tail end of the broadcast here. Where we have our current King of the Hill. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing Offside Esports. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Pink Protoss, representing among SC2 people. It is Rebellion. Here we go. Oh, here we go. So many Protoss. Yeah, it's StarCraft. If you've been watching online StarCraft 2 tournaments for the past maybe 4 years, it's has been very, very Protoss heavy. The Protoss population is up there. It's unfortunately a bit of a rarer sight to have the Zerg representation. Sometimes, I mean, I mentioned before, Eba was meant to be here. Like, Eba, he was the chosen one, papi. I keep saying that. We had Demi, we had Hatsu, of course. True. We had Demi, we had Hatsu. Eva was slated to compete earlier, but Eva was MIA. Sometimes we get Fiant. True. Sometimes we get Fiant. Sometimes we get Mixu. Sometimes we get Solar. Sometimes we get Young Jakob. Maybe. Like Young Jakob, he's a bit of a rarer sight. He's a really good player. But doesn't step in too often. But I agree, would be nice. Regardless, we have our PvP, and so far, so good. 2-gate opener out of Rebellion, 2-gate opener out of Christiana. He was supposed to bring balance. He was. Watching since the beta, HD and Husky. Yeah. I think a lot of us were introduced to StarCraft with HD and Husky. Still remember the HDH Invitational and the broken promises of the lack of HDH Invitational number 2. I mean, that never arrived. It never happened. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. No. I still remember. Still remember the HDH Invitational. For now, we do have our initial Stargate opener out of Cristiano. Stargate opener into our own natural base. Meanwhile, we do have Rebellion back across the map as well. Just going to go zone faster Nexus. As Hallucination does dive in. True, yeah, we had our anniversary. Yeah, true. I can't believe I forgot that. 15-year anniversary. True. 15 years, man. Yeah. It's crazy. I think I was, 15 years. That's insane. 15 years of StarCraft 2, by the way. Like, we had Lake Cardinal earlier talking about how he, of course, as I'm sure many others, got into StarCraft with Brood War before that as well, but crazy thing, just StarCraft 2 itself, 15 years. That's older than some pro players. That's older than, is that older than Eba? Is that God, no. I think that's older than Mini Zerg. Eba's like 16 now, right? Shaking my head. Is that It is crazy, though. It is crazy. As an Epsay actually make their way in, that Epsay do bust into the main. Probe's going to be going down. Black-Rat's Oracle as well. With that together, we do wreak havoc. Going to be 8 and 9. Oh, 8, 9 probes going to be going down, getting up to almost 10. Nice damage. Cristiano, he does pull away. Does pull away just in time, just losing shields. Barely any hull damage. And so far, Cristiano does kick things off with a lead. Again, he was the one that did go for the Stargate opener, going into delayed Blink. That is the one advantage that Rebellion has. He has faster Blink, right? The Twilight Council is done. Blink is halfway done as well for Rebellion. So Rebellion, he will have this window. He will have this timing where Blink is available. And Rebellion, to counterattack, he might warp in or might throw down extra gateways and commit to 2 bases. We'll see. Ooh, as the Oracles, they do find the Adepts. Oh, the bait? Okay. Cristiano, he is baited into activating those pulsar beams. Does waste energy. But last Rebellion, he's still stuck at home. I see another gateway. So far, 3-gate Blink. Do we throw down a 4th gateway as well? Cristiano, he's expanding. Cristiano getting further ahead. Rebellion, we gotta get something done. Checking his vision. Rebellion, he did not confirm the 3rd. He's not fully aware of what's going on. That's at least since diapers for them. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's crazy. It's crazy. Cristiano does move out. Oh. Does move out again. He has momentum, takes out the sentries, and he can just overwhelm. He can just overwhelm this army. Sentry's going to be going down. We spoke about that blink timing of Rebellion, but he was not able to hit it. And Rebellion, with the defender's advantage, he should be able to hold on here, but he lost all 3 sentries. And Cristiano not losing anything. Not yet. More reinforcements on the way. Warping in from back at home. Now getting to the Forger +1. Charge as well. Cristiano, he does push forward. Picks off a Stalker. The army is getting low. Shield battery is done. Uh-oh. Shield battery is done. And yeah, Cristiano has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Again, his army's on the brink. Has to back off. And Rebellion does hold, but behind this, again, he's still down over 10 workers. He didn't recover. Earlier, we mentioned how Rebellion, he lost so many probes that he had to do something across the map, had to get some counter damage, didn't get any. There's no Adept Harass, there's no War Prism into the main base, there's no Oracle, there's no DT. Without any harassment, Rebellion, he's behind, and he will stay behind. That's the brutal thing about a mirror matchup, of course, whether it's PvP, ZVZ, or TVT. If you do take a loss, if you do take a deficit, I mean, you're perpetually going to be behind unless you're able to get some kind of counter damage done, just because you have the same tools as your opponent. It can be harder to recover being down or being at a supply deficit, I should say. Hard to win a fight with that supply deficit. And Cristiano so far looking comfortable, looking very comfortable here. Warping in more zealots. As Cristiano does move out. Does move out across the map. Again, he has momentum. He does have that supply lead. He's got the prism to reinforce. He's got mass charge lots. A couple of Archons to warp in as well. Charge is not yet ready for a Rebellion. And it's going to be a tough fight here for the Korean Protoss. Cristiano collapses in, and I don't see Rebellion surviving this. Yeah, it's not going to happen. He kites back. He's being pinned against the wall. Stalker's going to be falling. He does try to warp in, does try to reinforce. Charge now finishes for Rebellion, but it's too little too late. Yeah, the Archons overwhelm, and Cristiano, he will extend his lead here. He not just has one win, he will claim another. GG gets called, and Cristiano, he will maintain himself as the king of the hill. GG. GG, well played, congratulations Cristiano, he will claim the win here. Again, Cristiano, he was able to deal so much damage early on with the Adept and Oracle Harass. He was able to take a massive worker lead, and we spoke about it. It was on Rebellion to fight back. It was on Rebellion to get some kind of counter damage, and he didn't. He failed to do so, whether it was with Adepts or Oracles or anything else. He was unable to get across the map, unable to do any damage, and with that, GG, well played Cristiano. He snowballed out of control. And up next, where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? As we are waiting for our next opponent here. Again, we have our 13th best of one. 13th best of one. Who haven't we seen yet? I mentioned Ela earlier. True, we haven't seen Geralt. Geralt, he also hasn't competed yet. So I'm thinking Eva, thinking Geralt, I'm thinking Mixu, I'm thinking maybe Fiant. There's a couple of the other key players out there. Bjorn, true, we haven't seen Bjorn yet either. Oh. Let's go. As we have an ex-opponent here, it is going to be another PvP. To be expected, to be expected. It is going to be a PvP between Cristiano and Jumy. Jumy. Aye. For Jumy, or I guess Jumy is going to be coming up next to face off against Cristiano. I do think this is going to be a close one. Before I was favoring Cristiano against Rebellion. This is, I want to say, almost 50-50. Like, aye. I know Jumy can be an animal at times. So good. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're going to be loading into Tokamak. Where's Max? Max, true. He does compete from time to time. Like there are some big names that we could still see, I should say, show up. Players like Max, players like Bjorn, players like Spirit, and Geralt as well. Art, Jumy, Rotin, another. Here we go, spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak. We have the German Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone, our new challenger from the land of Germany. It is Jumy. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Offset Esports. It is Cristiano. We go. As again, Jumy, he has chosen his map. I mean, we have his map of choice, Tokamak. One of the largest maps in the map pool, known for more defensive play, known for longer and later games. Of course, in PvP, we can still keep things over with a proxy, so we can still try to end things early. But based on the map choice, it feels like Jumy wants to get into a longer game. Feels like that's the case. Let's see. 2-gate opener out of Jumy, 2-gate opener out of Cristiano. So far, so good. So far, so good. As our players are mirroring each other. And so far, no shenanigans, right? No one is hiding the second pylon. Here we go. Second pylon in the main base for Jumy. Second pylon in the main base for Cristiano as well. No one is hiding anything. So far, everything is only up and up. Now, from here, we can still open up with a Stargate, or we can go for earlier tech of choice. We'll see if anyone does that. If anyone does so. As there we go, we have a take of choice. We have a Stargate opener out of Cristiano. Meanwhile, Twilight Council out of Jumy. Oh boy. So we have our take of choice. Both players going in different directions. With a faster Twilight Council, that means faster blink. That means we have a faster blink timing out of Jumy. Meanwhile, we do see Cristiano going for harassment instead, going for the Oracle opener, going for economic damage. Okay. And we'll see who comes out on top. Meanwhile, Jumy does pylon block. He does lay the expansion. Quest Stalker's coming in from behind. Jumy keeping that pylon alive. Oh, but that's a lot of adepts. It's going to be 4 adepts moving out. Cristiano going for a counterattack. Takes down the pylon. Doesn't commit to the shade. Oh, Jumy not expanding. Jumy, he does not expand. What's he going for? He's going for a 3rd gateway and a proxy 4th gateway across the map. He's going for a delayed 1-base all-in. He's going for the all-in. Let's go, Jumy. He's going to commit. I was getting ready for a longer game, and so is Cristiano. As Cristiano is moving out with the initial Oracle, he will soon find out that there's nothing to attack. Oh, God. Again, Cristiano, he's expanding. Oracle comes in, and there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing here. A massive scout here for Cristiano. He now knows and gets into the main. Shield battery's ready. There's a defensive warp in. And Jumy, he holds. Jumy, he does hold. He does defend. Meanwhile, the K-Way is almost done. Again, remember, it's 1 base, 4 gate blink out of Jumy. And now Cristiano is aware. Behind this, going for his own robo, going for immortal production. The immortal is being chronoed as we speak. Now remember, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Cristiano. He just needs time for the immortals. Immortals on the way, shield batteries on the way. Anyway, here comes Jumy. He's got 10 stalkers. 8 across the map, blinks on forward, he can two-shot. Oh, he can one-shot the sentry, takes out one of the stalkers, takes out a second stalker as well. A third stalker is going to be going down. The immortal just now popping up, but is it too late? Still close. Stasis trap is baited out. Very nice control out of Jumy. Calm down. Very nice control. Again, threading the adepts. Stasis trap's going to get baited. He can three-shot the immortal. Barely brings it down, and looks like he's done it. Looks like he's done it. Looks like he's bringing the back of Cristiano. Takes out another stalker, and a second immortal has arrived. Yeah, the immortal comes in just in time, and it might just barely be enough to buy a little bit more time here. Forcing back the army while the stasis trap is running out. And Jumy's not stopping. Yeah, he's not stopping. Oof, yeah, blinks on forward. Dives on the immortal. One more volley. Barely gets it. Immortal goes down. And Cristiano just doesn't have enough here. Oof. Catching out the Oracle, catching out the Adepts. There's one more Immortal. But they're just too many Stalkers. At this point, they're just too many Stalkers. Cristiano, he has broken the back of... Sorry, Jumy has broken the back of Cristiano. Boys are being pulled. And Jumy blinks in. Jumy, he goes for the dive. Takes down the final Immortal. And there is nothing left. There's one Stalker, there's one Zealot. GG gets called, and Jumy, he will take the game. He will be our new King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. A cheeky build here by Jumy, going for a delayed one base all-in. Remember, it was a 2-gate opener into a Twilight Council. Not into an expansion, but into a gateway at home, into a proxy gateway across the map. It was a late scout, a late realization from Cristiano, and Jumy pops off. Jumy, he does pop off, does claim the win. And with that, we're getting ready for our next best of. As we have 2 best of 1s left. We have 2 best of 1s remaining. We go. As Jumy, he's going to be a new King of the Hill. Shout out to Cristiano again. He did have a solid little win streak himself, especially taking down MaNa of all players. But up next, who is our new challenger? Who is remaining? Ooh, as we are heading over to the Americas server. Oh boy. We're heading over to NA because we have our next challenger here. Not a player that I was expecting to see, I mean, this late into the events, but let's go. It is going to be a PVT. Protoss vs. Terra, not another PvP. It is going to be the one, the only, the Beyond. Bjorn is going to be lying in wait. Here is our next challenger. Of course, Eddie, always saving the best for last. Eddie, shaking my head. As Bjorn is coming in as one of the heavy hitters here. Let's go. Here we go. So again, this is going to be that PvT. This is going to be Bjorn versus Jumy. Bearing in mind, this is the 14th best of 1. There is one more after this as well. So again, it's been a pretty, I would just say actually a pretty fast, tournament. I mean, a lot of these games were fast, right? A lot of the PvPs were a little bit faster. let's working our way through this. Getting to our second last game of the series. Again, it's gonna be Beyond's map of choice. It's gonna be Beyond's map of choice here. Oh, and we have our lobby. Where are we dropping? And it is going to be Ultra Love. Okay. Loading back into one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Okay, let's go. Let us go. As we're getting to our second last game of the series, sorry, our players are just memeing a little bit here, but we're getting into our next game. And spawning in the right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player. We have our blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, our new challenger. Oh boy, it's going to be a heavy hitter here. It is going to be a Beyond for Shopify. And spawning in the bottom right corner, we have the German Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is the current king of the hill, Jumy. Jumy. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. I do apologize for not doing predictions. I did miss predictions for the previous best of one between Christiana and Jumy, but now it's on for Beyond versus Jumy. Now, in a longer series, we favor Beyond. 100%. Like, Beyond, he is favored. In a best of 3, in a best of 5, even in a best of 1, he's still favored. But Jumy's an animal. As you just saw, Jumy, he just went for a delayed one-base all-in against Cristiano. It was crazy. He is an animal, and Jumy, he can cause upsets. He can bring down some of these bigger names. And he's not the most orthodox of players. Jumy, he's one of the few out there that I feel like regularly does some crazy stuff. Some crazy builds, and we'll see if he does embrace one here, as he is going for a gate expand. So a bit of a greedier start here out of Jumy. Does go for the initial gate expand. Meanwhile, we just see Beyond going double gas. Double gas opener, going for a faster factory, going for a more tech heavy start here instead. Go. From here, we're going to be settling on in. We do have our initial takeoff choice as well. With that, going to be opening up Reaper. From here, we can go into Reactor. We can go into Reactor to Reaper. We can go into Reaper Heli. We can go into early Widowmine. We'll see what we commit into. For now, we do have the initial Hellion to move out as well. As Beyond wants economic damage, does get into the mineral line. Nothing major. Let's get further in. And this I was not expecting. Stargate opener out of Jumy. Okay. Okay. Does go for the Stargate opener. You know, Reaper Hellion going to be threatening a dive here and towards the natural. Adepts are keeping up. The first Hellion does go down just in time before it gets into the mineral line, but despite that, Reapers do still bust in, and they get one. They get one probe. Nice defense by Jumy. Very nice defense. Shuts down the Reaper Hellion, only losing one probe. Behind this, Beyond going for his own add-ons, going for what looks to be a Cyclone drop. Okay, so early Cyclone drop out of Beyond, not going for the tanks, not going for any Widowmine drop either. No mine drops. Meanwhile, Beyond also failed to scout. This is probably the most important part here. Stargate openers currently in the current meta are very uncommon, which is kind of crazy. Like 2 years ago, Stargate openers were all the craze. Going Phoenix Colossus in TVP was meta, was standard. In current StarCraft, though, because of how aggressive Terran players have been, this has fallen by the wayside. And I would say this is a greedy build here by Jumy. We'll see if he can get away with it, as he is banking up those Phoenixes. He's banking. His goal here is to catch out the Cyclone. Catch out the Cyclone, catch out the Medevac. Army gets spotted, and here come the Phoenixes. Ideally, he wants to lure him in. Yeah, we do see MaNa gets the hell out of here. Does boost away. Jumy's on the chase. And there's the unload. Yeah, it does unload. Phoenix getting caught out. Nice pickups here from Bjorn. Yeah, good response. Does force back the Phoenixes. Does force him back. Adepts had to retreat. Behind this, we have Viking production. Again, Bjorn, he wasn't really ready for Phoenixes, but now he responds with Vikings, with another Cyclone. Third Cyclone has arrived. Vikings rallying across the map, and he's going for the kill. He's going for the natural. Does lift the first Cyclone. So far, Jumy's holding on. At least he's trying to, I should say. That one Cyclone taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of shots. Catching out all the Adepts. Yeah, losing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Adepts. All the Adepts are going to be going down. One Adept does barely survive. Bjorn, he trades. Does trade with the army. Does get 4 Adepts and a Phoenix. 1 Cyclone so far. And Jumy, he's going Phoenix Colossus. Like, he's playing like it's 2021. Okay, let's go. Phoenix Colossus is going to be amassing. Gets into the mineral line. I mean, I would say for the most part, Jumy has weathered the storm. Like, the scariest thing about opening up Stargate is if you get scattered early. If you get scattered early, then Bjorn can respond and react and turn this into an all-in. But here he's going for a third CC. Third CC is on the way. Bjorn is building up towards the mid-game. And Jumy, he should be able to get there. I know we've had a lot of short games. A lot of short games here tonight. But here we're kind of gearing up for the mid-game. Gearing up for a back and forth. Let's go. Jumy does pull away. As we see Jumy just containing his opponent. I mean, hey, that's the power of these Phoenixes. Once they get high enough, Bjorn is contained on 2 bases. You do see Jumy getting a process gateway out on the map as well to reinforce. Bjorn's still being pinned down. And as he's pinned, Jumy, he's slowly building up this Colossus. He already has 2. He has 2 Colossus, soon getting up to 3. It's going to be the ideal. Then he can start working towards Disruptors. As here comes a third. Jumy does scout this. Third TC is on the way.
Your research is done. Don't forget the rest of them.
Shout out to TB. Shout out. As Jumy is moving out. Moving out across the map again. He's trying to wait. He's waiting for Bjorn to expose himself. Speaking of, Bjorn does push. Spots the army. Jumy bullying him back. So far, so good. I don't know if Jumy has to push up into the ramp though. He's trying to force his way in. Killing himself the depots at least. And depots are under fire. That one hallucination tanking a lot of shots. And Jumy, he's going for it. Yeah, he's going for the kill. He's going for the throats. Behind this, he's on AK ways. He's warping in nothing but zealots. Does supply block Bjorn. Not bad. Supply block. Forcing his way in. And from here, may have to just pull the boys. There we go. Does go for the lift. Does pull the boys. And beyond, can he break out? Those two Colossus, those three Colossus doing so much in the back line. A lot of Marines going to be falling. But is it enough? It's still so close. Zealots, their slow lots. The slow lots are trickling in. And Jumy's running a Colossus, but there it is. GG gets caught. Jumy, he does not break through. The all-in fails. And Björn, he will hold. He will survive. Björn will be our new King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. Jumy, he had no tech behind it. He had no Twilight Council. He had no charge. It was all or nothing for Jumy. And again, he was trading relatively well. You know, he was breaking through the army, but he lost everything. He lost all the Colossus. And again, behind it, he didn't really have anything else ready. He had no longevity there. GG, well played in the end. Björn, he will overwhelm. He'll be our new King of the Hill. GG. GG, well played. Again, I feel like Jumy could have tried to play out a standard game. Like, in the sense that, in my mind, I can see Jumy containing Björn on 2 bases, take gases, get a 4th base, tech up, get into blink, or get into charge, I should say, and get into a longer game from there. But Jumy decided to commit. He decided to go for the all-in instead. Tried to break the natural. GG, well played. With that, Björn will claim it, and now we're getting ready for our final best of 1 of the broadcast. And who's up next? Who is up next? Who is our final challenger? As again, Björn, he will claim the game, and we have one best of 1 remaining here. I did notice Iba. I did notice Iba finally waking up. Iba, saying that he now has dementia at 16 years old. True, true. Oh. But we might have another challenger instead. Okay, we're heading over to the Korean server. Who's it gonna be? We already had Rebellion. We already had Percival. What's another Korean player that we have yet to feature tonight? Oh, okay, okay. I wasn't too certain. Here we go. So up next, we have our next challenger here. I wasn't certain. I'll be honest. I wasn't certain if he was back. But yeah, here we go. It is going to be a oh. It is going to be not Korean on Korean action. It's going to be Björn versus Trigger. Trigger, he spent so much time in South Korea last year. I want to say he spent like maybe 10 months out of the year in South Korea. Sorry, I should say for like the past 10 months. He's spent a lot of time in South Korea over the past year of play. And he's back. I wasn't sure if he would be, but yeah, Trigger, he is back in South Korea. So it's going to be a PVT, and it's going to be a banger of a PVT as well. Trigger, he's a big name, and we don't often see Trigger. We don't often see Trigger in OSC King of the Hill. I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's go. Let's go. We go. We're getting into our final game of the broadcast. Getting into our final game. It sounds like Trigger has enjoyed his time in South Korea, and of course is now back once again. I think he might be by himself though. Again, in the lead up to this, he was in Korea with Rainer and Clem, of course. They were all 3 of them were in Korea preparing for EWC. But now I think he might just be there on his own, back on his own. I mean, I say on his own, you know, of course, with all the other Korean players as well. But here we go. We're getting into our final best of 1 of the broadcast, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have our Canadian Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Basilisk. It is Trigger. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the current King of the Hill. We have the Red Terran, also from South Korea, representing Shalvar Rebellion. It is Björn. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets as we are clowning. My cow's ready for a longer game. We have Trigger going for a proxy. Bjorn also going for a proxy. Oh boy. So I think Trigger's dead. So there's a lot happening right now. What's concerning me is that Proxy Reaper hits faster. That's the big problem. It's gonna be the first thing to hit, by the way. It's gonna take a little bit longer to warp in the gateways and then to warp in the initial units here. Gases are being taken, so we can afford a cyber core. Initially, it's gonna be Zealots. It's gonna get a little bit rowdy, but this is what I'm worried about. Here, the Reaper's already on the way. The Reaper's already on the way. Now, unless Bjorn gets surrounded, and he shouldn't get surrounded, this Reaper and the upcoming Reapers should kill everything. And remember, Bjorn, when these Zealots and soon-to-be Stalkers, well, when the Zealots, when they hit the base, Bjorn can lift. Bjorn, he can lift his CC, he can lift his buildings, and Trigger, he sees, he scouts, he sees that there's nothing at home. There is no rack, something is wrong. Here we go, here come the Zealots. Meanwhile, there's the Cyber Core. SB does poke in, Reaper is on the way, and again, there is zero production back at him to defend. We can see that Bjorn, he is walling up. He's walling off, he sees, he scouts, no gateway. And the Zealot has arrived. We get it. Reaper. Okay, Reaper races back home. Okay. So Reaper, he does not harass across the map. He races back home to defend instead. Bunker's on the way. And it will finish. The bunker will complete. But the production is going to be a little bit different here, as Bjorn, he is not in position to defend. Yeah, boys are being pulled to repair. Stalkers are on the way. Yeah, Stalkers are on the way. Bunker does hold. And Bjorn, he's holding, he's surviving, he's going into a Cyclone behind this. Yeah, Cyclone production's on the way. And Trigger expands. Okay. Okay. The game will continue. Again, I was concerned about the harassing Reaper, right? I was concerned about the Reaper harass, but last is a shield battery here, eventually finishing off a Trigger. And Bjorn, he chose to race back home to defend instead. SCV's going to be going down. Gets one SCV. The pylon does provide high ground vision. And so far, Bjorn is contained. So far, he is contained. Tank production's on the way, not Cyclone. Getting to the tank. Reapers, they just race back home. And we're in a really weird game state. Okay, so Bjorn, he's stuck on one base. He's got his one base tank production underway, and he's got his Reapers to work with. Meanwhile, Trigger, I mean, with this army, he might be able to overwhelm, at least until the tank arrives. Yeah, the tank is out, and Bjorn holds. Bjorn, he does hold on. I say that Trigger, he wants that tank. Ooh. Yeah, brutal tank shots going off. He gets one, gets both Stalkers. Both Stalkers go down, but Trigger is expanding. Trigger, he's trying to macro out of this, going for his own gateway explosion. Twilight Council's on the way. That one SCV is still chilling, by the way. Do you think probes like T-Rexes? It's like if you don't move, they don't see you. Like the SCV, he's blending in. It's, no sun. No, he didn't. He moves. No. The SCV. Yeah, the SCV is gonna go down. Feels bad. He was just chilling. He was one with the Protoss for so long, for almost 5 minutes. He was just chilling in the main. But the SCV does finally go down. Cyclone does move in. Oh, catching a Stalker. Does catch a Stalker. We have Charge on the way here for a Trigger. He's still reinforcing, still warping, and still containing Bjorn for as long as possible on one base. I mean, hey, Bjorn is contained. So here comes the expand. Here comes the CC. Bjorn is finally going to expand. At least attempting to. Getting this bunker up. Tanks are getting in position as well. Moving in. Yeah, from here he dives on the tank. Bunker's not ready. The tank does go down. Yeah, nice pick up. Gets a tank. Gets a cyclone. As Beyond attempts to expand, he gets punished. He gets completely punished here. He will lose the mineral line, and he may just lose the tank. With these stalkers, he can focus it down. He can focus on the tank. The tank should fall. And from there, I didn't see Beyond holding here. Yeah, there's no repair. There's no repair. GG gets called. Trigger, he breaks the natural. He breaks into the main. And Trigger is going to be this week's reigning OSC King of the Hill champion. GG. GG, well played. A very, very chaotic game, by the way. Very chaotic. Proxy versus Proxy. Again, Beyond, he chose to race back home to defend. Trigger successfully contained Beyond on one base for as long as he could. Meanwhile, behind it, Trigger took a greater economic lead. He rushed into not blink. He rushed into charge as the follow-up, and with that, he was able to break through. Once Beyond attempted to expand, he spread himself thin. He was exposed on the low ground, and Trigger, he went for the kill. Congratulations here as Trigger, he will claim the win, and that was the final game of the broadcast. With that, Trigger, he is the final champion, the final King of the Hill. Congratulations, Pappy. Congratulations to Trigger. A shout out to Beyond. Beyond did well for himself, claiming that win, and of course claiming the win against Jumy and being the king for a game. And again, Beyond, he's one of those big names, he's one of those heavy hitters, but so is Trigger, right? So is Trigger. He's also one of equivalent or a similar skill here to a player like Beyond, also an EWC player, EWC level caliber player, I should say. And GG, congratulations here. Let's catch up on the bracket. Let's catch up on all the matches that we did feature here tonight. Let's go. Let us catch up as we do have our bracket. Exclamation mark, be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Let us zoom out a little bit. There we go. We have our lineup here. It all began with Percival. Percival, he was the first King of the Hill. Took down Nicoract, took down Demi. Demi, of course, being one of the few Zerg players that we featured here tonight. And then we had Pappy. We had, again, like out of left field, who stopped Percival? It was Pappy of all players. Pappy took down Percival 1-0. Then we had a bit of a back and forth where Shane was taking down Pappy. MaNa then went on the longest win streak. The longest win streak here of the broadcast. MaNa taking down Shameless, taking down Kanoya, taking down UD Soldier, Sebestes, Baby Marine, Hatsu as well, before finally falling at the hands of Cristiano. Cristiano, he went on a very short win streak, taking down MaNa, taking down Rebellion, but he did meet his end at the hands of Jumy, who then met his end at the hands of Beyond, who then, bam, met his end just now at the hands of Trigger. So congratulations, Trigger. He'll be the final King of the Hill. Meanwhile, MaNa comes out on top with the most amount of wins here. With the most amount. With six wins under his belt. So a solid win streak there out of MaNa. Congratulations. And of course, all of our other champions to MaNa, to Percival, Trigger, Beyond, Jumy, and Cristiano, and Shameless as well. And Pappy, of course. For those who are curious, you do, of course, earn money. You do earn earnings based on every win that you accumulate in the King of the Hill. That is how the format works. And this is a weekly tournament. Again, it is a more unique format. A bit of a rarer sight to see all these players in a best of one style format instead. We have had King of the Hill tournaments in the past, like Shoutcraft King of the Hills is kind of like the biggest one that is notable enough that I'm sure many do remember. But we have at least our weekly here as well with OSC King of the Hill. Do love to see it. And again, every single week there is the OSC King of the Hill. Sometimes we do cover it, sometimes not. Typically another OSC community caster, whether it's ourselves, sometimes Chicken Man, Dave Testa, Steadfast, Wardy, if Wardy's not hosting another tournament. I think an example of that, I believe Wardy is currently hosting the European League. All right, I think he's been covering the EU League recently. I think he was doing that yesterday even. My apologies, that was yesterday. But alas, regardless, we have had those European leagues, and again, what has been focusing on that. So whenever some of these other casters aren't available, we do step in to cover here on the CranKy Ducklings. Otherwise, it's going to be on another channel. Keep an eye out on the social medias for where the next OSC King of the Hill is going to be, whether it's here on the CranKy Ducklings, whether it's over on another channel instead. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed. And again, our next broadcast, as you can see, is going to be in less than 24 hours. Bam! You can see our schedule. We just wrapped up with our Wednesday broadcast. We had 2 casts back to back. Big Star Cup into OSC King of the Hill. Meanwhile, tomorrow we're going to be live with the Pondcast. That is our weekly talk show where we talk all things StarCraft. It's going to be a longer Pondcast because we did miss out on last week. We did skip last week's Pondcast because of EWC. Like, there was just so much content, so much StarCraft with the Esports World Cup. We had to skip the Pondcast, so we have a lot of catching up to do. A lot has occurred in the past 2 weeks. We'll be catching up. Likewise, we have the Sunny Lake Cup on Friday morning or Thursday evening. We have KSL, SDO, STC, and the K Cup as well. There's plenty of content on the horizon. As always, here on the CranKy Ducklings, we're going to be live at least once a day, every single day. GG, well played. Otherwise, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. If you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who can we raid? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's have a look. Who's live at the moment? I see Poison is live. I see Big Gabe. The Big Gabe is live as well. Typically, we try to raid smaller streamers. Thriving GG is live, but I don't know if he's playing StarCraft. Not too sure about that. If he is, we might give Thriving a raid. But we'll find someone. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. So give them a chance, give them some love, give them some support. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Pondcast. See you tomorrow for the Pondcast. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.